We tried to work this out before, but now I'm stronger. Ignite the fire once more, but I don't want you. Tracing city lights, make it right. I don't wanna press play. Ooh, days washing away. Facing nights in the morning, white lies are fading in. Waiting for a sign that takes me back to the beginning. No time for guilt or pleasure. You know I can't do that. I wish that I knew better, 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 better.
Hello and welcome to the Dota Pro Circuit. We're here with the last remaining region. Of course, we did have that 2-week break in the Chinese New Year, so we're going on for an extra 2 weeks to finish off the Chinese circuit. And we've had plenty of Dota 2 action. We jumped back into the action last week, and in case you forgot what happened, well, we've got a little recap for you.
The Doom went on the Mars. They're jumping on Mars now. No BKB available.
XXS might have some distance. Ooh, getting so far away. Sunray committed from Borax. Is it going to be enough? Yes, it is. Cat U. He dies. Magnetize was used. Another got MS by himself.
Impale ready.
First
See if
life
he can time
gone.
it.
Soulbind hoping to get a double stun in, but MS still dead. Supernova in, and they got the stun on to Jiao Fu. So this will end up just being a full team wipe here for Aster. Fuels up into the air. They've got the spear that lands right into the tree. Silence TZY. Loses that Aegis. Now they got to try and retaliate, but they don't have Dream Coil to work with. Earth Spike as well as the arena
save.
coming in. Now the RP. No, Walrus Punch. That's out on the Emo. They get the kill on Yam Yam. Now they'll use the RP. That lands on two, so maybe the Walrus Punch hurts them instead. All three heroes don't have buyback. They go after the puck. They've called GG. All of this is now just for show, and they can't get the kill anyway just yet. they see them coming in. JT's going to get that A and just pop. They've got the Hex that's bounced off thanks to the Lotus Orb. Icarus Dive coming through, but they get the kill on Kaka. He's not going to have buyback there for 70 seconds. They've dusted them up. Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains coming through onto the Murano, looking over at Fate Beyond, who's never able to get the Primal Roar off. He's dead for 90 seconds. They look over at JT. They get the kill onto the Timber. He's dead for 120. Oh, Supernova goes off, and that's going to save the life of Emo. Jinkyu, Innocence, both gone. 3 heroes dead, and they don't have the Battle Trance. They'll get the kill on Ame. They look over as this is the time-lapse used. Nothing to say, trying to survive. He's got the wand, but does he have the damage? He'll pop the Lincoln. Sleight of Fist is used, but they're around him, and they will kill off Ame. Or nothing to say, sorry. Everybody's gone on LGD. Avoid the sweep. They know where they are. Ball lightning comes in, but they pop the Lincolns. They have the Winter's Curse. Astral Step, that's right across the bow of XM. Finger already used. There's the mech, so he'll heal
He just
up.
dies in one
He'll
hit.
Get the kill onto XM. Eurus just blasting right through him. And now over to the rest.
And not a crit.
Axe Nova getting blown up by Eurus, and Eurus still going in with BKB. Chalice on the run now.
And not a
Of
crit.
course, there's the crit. The batches all coming through. Chalice gone. Ajit falls. Everybody dead on the side of eHome. They're gonna smoke on Aster.
In a second. Come on, come on.
And Exorcism. Dream Coil coming through on a 2. They've got the Silence. They're gonna run out of the Dream Coil. Omni Slash used. Old 11 and DY already dead. They don't have buyback available on the Tidehunter either, but they find the Shackle on a Borax with the Malphus, followed up on a PYW. Roche hitting away at this Shadow Shaman. They'll use the Requiem. Yeah, it's not really for damage, and it doesn't keep PYW alive. So Cass being thrown, bouncing up to the neutrals. That's unfortunate. DY
Slash,
dead
that's a
again.
dieback.
Yeah, he just bought back, and now they're going to find the Shadow Fiend. Black Hole committed, and Aster, they get everybody. They don't lose anything off of this.
Hopefully that got your motors running and back into the zone for the DPC Chinese region, brought to you by Perfect World. And, of course, me. My name's Nomad, and I've got my lovely panel to get you into it as well. We've got Lacoste and Lizard ready to jump into this week of DPC Chinese action. We've got a game a day coming up throughout the week. A nice, simple schedule to keep everyone engaged and excited. Guys, how are we doing?
Doing good, you know. I got some good rest, played some Dota. Unfortunately, there's not too much Dota to watch, so everyone can, you know, now watch Chinese regions because we had a lot of good matches, like some really good comebacks, especially the last one we've seen in the highlights. Pretty hyped up just overall, and I can't wait. I've said this multiple times. I can't wait to see China play against like top tier, mostly European teams.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting seeing the powerhouses from each region come up against each other. We're nearly there, just under a month away now. Getting very excited. But Lizard, you know, you've had 3 days off. What have you been doing? Haven't even seen you playing Dota, mate.
I played Dota a little bit, and I also started playing some custom games too. A little bit of a throwback, a lot of free time.
What did you play? Pudge Wars?
No, I actually played some TD. It's called Random Farm TD or something like that. Random TD. It's the first one that actually reminded me of the glory days back in.
Yeah, back in the days. You
back
know,
in the Dota
Footman
1
Frenzy.
Yeah, man. It's actually pretty solid, but like anything right now in custom games in Dota 2, it's a little bit too easy. You play it 5-6 times and you kind of have it under control.
That's how I felt when I switched from Warcraft 3 to Dota.
It's too easy.
You know, why am I just controlling one hero?
Yeah, I feel you. I know that feeling very well.
Simple stuff. Well, getting back to the Dota, of course, we can have a look at those all-important standings and where everything is looking in the Chinese region right now. And, of course, we've got IG with the 5-0. The top dogs, they are looking unstoppable. Vici and Aster, meanwhile, they are tied for second. Or more accurately, I'd say Vici are in second and Aster on third, because Vici did win the head-to-heads. But then again, head-to-heads don't matter when they're competing for a spot. So, technically, joint second, Vici and Aster. Then down in fourth, we've got Elephant 3-2, underperforming somewhat, but starting to find their momentum once again. PSG, LGD with the 2 and 3 not doing nearly as well as they'd have hoped for, and then eHome, unfortunately, with the 1 and 4 not doing well at all. And then we've got Magma and LBZS, our 2 big underdogs off the tournament. And as you may have noticed, for today's series, we've got the very top versus the very bottom. So what is on paper the most convincing series off the lots?
theoretically, you know, LBZS right now, they're still not out. You know, even with the 0-5, they can still stay in upper division. But yeah, it's gonna be a rough one. They need to win this one.
And Lacoste said like he is looking forward to the major, to these different regions clashing. There was a clash recently. LBZS played versus Neon.
Oh yeah.
And it was in that Moon League. What's very interesting is LBZS.
They won.
They 2-0'd them.
They won.
Wow, LBZS are on hot streaky, was what you're telling me.
They're doing pretty well. They're not playing well in the DPC, but apart from DPC, they're winning the series in other leagues.
It's much easier, you know, when you play against weaker teams. That's what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
I see.
I'm not calling Neon a weak team.
Well,
because that was pretty surprising.
One
but
of the top LCA teams.
Yeah, that's really the question, like, because they finished second, right, in DPC SCA, and now they lost 2-0 to LBZS. It's
plus, I mean,
maybe
peculiar.
They, you know,
we got to consider, like, Neon aren't going to be turning up to a game in, like,
of
the
course.
Moon Studio tournament and being like, yeah, we're throwing everything we've got at these guys. You know, they're just going to be like, we got a major coming up. We're just going to kind of...
That's actually very true, because I was watching, I believe it was Vici Gaming as well, that lost at least one game versus Sparkling Arrow Gaming, SAG.
Okay,
they lost one game to them, so, you know, lower division team. So,
LBZS
you know, anything can happen.
actually played quite a lot of games in that Moon Studio tournament. I believe they played like 15 games, so maybe they didn't. They practiced, and I checked the hero that they're playing. They shifted. Like, you can feel the shift. They're not going for the same stuff that they've been doing in a DPC. So I think they improved. You know, a lot of practice. They're leaning towards more like an early push. I see a lot of Lycans, Undying, Shamans. Like, a lot of those are all-in strategies, but they back it up with something late game like Medusa. So I think they really improved in terms
They're
of drafting.
finding a style, because that's what we've been asking for. We've been asking these, you know, these underdog teams, these relegation teams, to kind of find their own style, find their groove, sink into things a bit, you know, try stuff out. And if LBZS are doing that, you know, that's when you start to get scary and catch people off guard. But of course, the flip side of that is that you can get too predictable as well. So you got to keeping it fresh.
And it's a little bit too late when it comes to maybe not completely too late, but it is a little bit late for them. They're standing at 0.5.
They can still do it.
They can still do it, Lizard. Stick to the narrative, damn it.
They have 2 games left. To be able to do it, they at least have to show a good performance here versus IG.
I think this is a great boost of confidence for them, you know, managing to beat Neon in another tournament, getting a couple of wins here and there. So yeah, that's something they needed, because they did not win, not a single series, but they also did not win a single game in the DPC.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
So what you're saying is they're in the best possible shape to take this win.
For sure. Like, you need that one on the board. Like, you want to go on the board and just check it. Like, there's our one. It doesn't have to be a W, but, you know, a 1 is also going to do okay.
That one little wins help them out. Well, they've got this game versus IG, and then they've got eHome, which eHome have not been looking good. But unfortunately, they did lose to Magma LBZS, so, you know, they're going to have that hanging over them. So we know that they even struggle against lower down teams. So this isn't a team which has still yet to play a couple of the other teams down at the bottom, so we don't really know their power rating. Like, they are the bottom team. Like, right now, they are the bottom team.
Yeah,
We're trying to hype it up.
sorry. Keep bringing reality into it and ruining it.
At least they're not playing versus a team that's... wait, they are playing versus a team that's first on the leaderboards, that dropped, what, 2 games across all series. But there you go. They dropped a game or 2. So if you're LBZS, look at those 2 games. Study them, man. And figure out what's happening. Figure out what happened in them. Try to copy the same scenario.
IG and Asta were the 2 untouchable gods at the top. You know, they were just sitting at the top, undefeated. They're like, oh, look at these peasants fighting below us. None of them can even touch us. But earlier, last week, we did see Asta going down. So we know these gods can bleed. It kind of reminds me of the part in the 300, you know, when he throws a spear and makes a god bleed. And they're like, oh, he's not a god. He can bleed. So maybe IG are like, oh, goodness, Asta can bleed. That means we can bleed. And they're going to be doubting themselves, eh?
Not really.
Possibly, but
knowing, guys, stick to the narrative, Lizard.
Knowing how IG plays, like, it's been pretty much flawless. They dropped 3 games so far in the upper division. They lost 1 game to last one was against the PSG LGD. Like, Emo lost his lane. mid Zeus, like
Super hard.
super hard.
Yeah,
The Magnus,
yeah.
like a lot of questionable
strategy
decision
fell
making.
apart.
Other than that, like this thing just looks super hot, crisp execution. Everything's pretty much on point.
And you beat them once, and then the second game, like the game after, they'll come back as an entirely new team. They'll pick something entirely new, and they will wreck you. And that's scary. Like
It's just a pleasure to watch. We'll see
Yeah,
what they do with LBZS and how they form their strategies around them. But
indeed.
so far, IG, they've been impressing us with the way that they play, also with the heroes that they picked. Also, that Zeus, that was a fail. They played the Zeus before like a week or two, and they had a very solid strategy behind him. You're playing that Zeus versus the Dead Prophet mid. There's a reasoning why no one can reach him. In that game last week, Zeus wasn't really a bad pick, but it felt more like, okay, Zeus worked before, let's pick it again here, and we'll just crush. It definitely didn't happen that way. Another loss that they did have is when they couldn't answer a PL. So maybe that's something LBZS can do. Pick some PL, pick a hero that's completely uncountered.
Just first pick PL.
Just first pick. First pick Meepo. Surprise them. Throw it out
And
there.
then support Meepo, bang.
You just have to confuse them. That's the easiest way.
And then you shift it towards position 5.
Yeah, sure.
Exactly.
I don't think, LBZS, as I mentioned already, they are making differences, the way they're drafting, the heroes that they're picking. So seems like they found what they want to do, like found their form possibly, even though they're 0-5. But already mentioned, they played in this Moon Studio tournament. I think this could be, not as easy, let's say, for IG as it would be at the start of the season.
It's a shame it's not a morning game, otherwise we could pull the whole "they're not out of bed yet" card. But let's have a look at the head-to-head statistics of the two teams and see exactly how they compare on this graph here. And as you can see, IG, they're getting more wins across the board, so of course their lines are a lot higher up, higher win percentages overall. Does look very interesting from LBZS though. They've had one or two of these really quick wins, and then a couple of really long wins as well. So a bit of difference there in the LBZS crew in terms of where they're taking these games. But in the mid game, that's when they've been crushed the most, and that's because the good teams in China, they know what they do. They go through the motions. Take first Roche, take all out of towers, take second Roche, end the game, and that's that.
That seems to be the story, like how Dota has been played for a very long time. You don't necessarily need to end the game with first Roche. Just get that Aegis, get the advantage.
Yeah, strengths and weaknesses, or weaknesses.
What is this? They don't have anything.
GPM some creeps is a little bit.
Yep.
No, it's not. It's all looking pretty bad. Take it off the screen.
But I'm just trying to figure out where the middle is.
Tower damage 47 again per minute.
475. Oh dear.
This
Stop
does
it, production.
not
Take it away.
paint the
You're
best
not
story.
fitting on
I'm
narrative.
just trying to think of if there's a hero that can damage their own tower. So if that's possible, I don't think there is a hero that can do that, but maybe there's a way to exploit it.
If only.
This
if
is
only.
like something that...
To get some more stats. Yeah.
Of course, that's what's important.
Could do it, or just pick Leshrac, eating that tower.
And of course, when we're talking about these two teams, I decided we should chat about the position 4. So we'll quickly take a look at these two in a head-to-head matchup before we get into the draft here. And Kachu, of course, he is a phenomenal player, but unfortunately we haven't really been seeing the performances from him. He hasn't been really kicking off as we've seen him do previously. I'm not sure what's going on, but Kachu was tagged as one of the up-and-coming Chinese talents to look out for, but he hasn't really been showing that flair this tournament.
You can be the best player in the world if you're playing with 4 other people and who are not on the same skill level as you are. If you're losing all the games, you might look decent, but you're not gonna look 100% you, because it's very hard to show your best, especially in the games when you're losing it.
And the thing is, this is the Chinese region. We have to reiterate it. It's not even about the individual skill. All of these players are super high on the leaderboards, top 10, top 50.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter, because Chinese region is all about that team play. It's all about the way you move after the laning stage as a team. You can even do well in the lanes. It won't matter, because the strategical aspect, that's all that matters here.
I wouldn't mind seeing Ancient Apparition here just straight away. They have position 4 who provides you control, stun silence, something that can move around the map against Oracle, against the Alchemist, stop that healing. I think it's just a no-brainer.
And it's LBZS's full comfort zone, this spirit. When you talk about Katiu, his Earth Spirit is probably the most played hero for him. They also played it in the Moon League a couple of times, and they usually pair it with something like a Grimstroke as well, which isn't a bad pairing, but Ancient Apparition, like Lacoste said, that's a very, very good suggestion.
Maybe they thought, you know, I talked about how they are drafting differently. They play a lot of Lycans, a lot of like push-in, all-in strategies. One of the reasons why IG decided to ban out Medusa, something that, you know, plays well into the mid and late game, and have like possibly they played like off-lane Lycan, they played mid Lycan. So yeah, they just want to set the tempo. This is the hero that can invade the enemy jungle, mess up with the Alchemist. Earth Spirit is also one of the better ones that can go in. I would love to see someone on the mid lane possibly that can go in and take the stacks. You know, someone that just goes in and clear those stacks. The best hero that comes to my mind is Lashrak. I don't remember seeing them play Lashrak, but something to consider for sure.
That would definitely be nice.
And the Ancient ban. So Grim and the Ancient, one hero that's really in their comfort zone, the other that's really good versus the Alchemist. Invictus Gaming just ban out instantly. And Alchemist became such a fun pick right now. Fun pick because you can just put him to that offlane. Just put him to that offlane, give him that early eggs.
Please get rid of Blizzard from the panel, thank you.
Yeah, just be as Mike.
This is one of the heroes that actually makes the game anti-fun. If you like watch some of the games where Alchemist is offlane, he gives Aghanim set Gyrocopter.
I said he's fun as a pick right now. I didn't say that he makes the game.
You can't dig upwards, buddy.
No. I said that he's fun as a pick because usually when you see Alchemist picked, you know exactly what it is. It makes the strategy a little bit different right now. If you're first picking the Alchemist, is he offlane? Is he mid? Is he safe lane? You can't really know, and that's at least it's more interesting. Let's put it.
There are some fun combinations. You know, we yet to see the Alchemist Luna. Well, I think OG tried it, didn't really work out too well, unfortunately. So, yeah, we yet to see the Alchemist Luna really pay off yet, but there's some fun strategies there somewhere. You know, I think the more common ones have been Gyrocopter for sure, Monkey King, but yeah, hopefully we'll see some success with that. But it is a flex pick now. You're absolutely right. It is indeed a flex pick. Over the past month, the highest combined ban and picked heroes are Puck, Mars, and OD. OD untouched recently, though. It seems to have really fallen off people's radars. Puck is still as popular as ever, though.
Looking at the last, let's say, week or two, that's where you should form your data from because of the recent patch that happened. So OD isn't really picked as much. Puck still is, but one hero that you have to mention, though, is Oli's Oracle. Like, this guy has... Oracle himself has, I believe, 13 games, 12 wins. So it's the highest win rate hero right now in the Chinese region with the new patch as well. But interestingly enough, Phoenix, that you mentioned, not picked yet at all. Not touched, not banned.
Yeah, Nihiro has been picked 11 times, and over the past month, and it's won 10 of those games. So 10 out of 11. Pretty good. It's a pretty good win rate.
Night Stalker ban, something that we see from time to time, especially against the Oracle. Like, Oracle doesn't get to play Dota. We've seen Night Stalker shining quite a lot when there's like defensive supports. You get on top of them, they die. LBZS responds with Disruptor. Great against like Alchemist. You need to have a good front line whenever you have a Disruptor. So Wolves will be scouting things out. You have Earth Spirit rolling in, providing vision. So that glimpse, like, you have two of the best heroes in the front line to be able to set up a good glimpse.
Yeah, and remember that this Lycan, even though they did ban out the Mars, the Tidehunter, it doesn't have to be their position 1. This is still very flexible. In the game in which I believe it was Vici Gaming that lost versus SAG, Lycan was offlane, and then you pair it with something like a Troll or a Nurse.
I think Troll or possibly Kunkka pick for Invictus Gaming will solve, like, because with Kunkka you can do so much against the glimpse. You can use it on your teammates, pull them back. You have great laner against the Lycan and his summons. So whether it's safe lane Kunkka, whether it's mid Kunkka, we've seen in Europe, like I remember Nisha playing safe lane Kunkka. I've seen some other teams as well do it when it's a good matchup.
We saw it last week, right here. It was played versus the Lycan as well, and it did well. Winter Wyvern historically was a hero that it can be a little bit of a bait when you think about it, because why do you pick it? You pick it versus Lycan as he has all those summons. Yeah, sure, why not? But why not is he just sends all the summons at you. and
Yeah,
pops
this
his ulti, and that's it. And then suddenly, as a Wyvern, you can't really do a lot. And now you have a Storm as well, who can jump you or the Oracle.
Good pick.
This is a really good draft by LBZS so far.
And another thing that Storm does, which Lacoste was asking for before, was he clears those stacks. It's possible that they could go and invade.
And he lanes well versus Alchemist as well.
Man,
That's
so
another
many
thing.
ticks.
Yeah. And he can invade the jungle
I've
early
said,
on.
like, they are improving in terms of drafting, and we can already see. I'm not a big fan of Wyvern and Oracle. I believe we've seen that same exact combo once. It worked well for the team, I remember, because they were like using ultis. You have two heroes that can save each other, so one will get the ulti off, then give another time to actually use Winter's Curse. It's a bit tricky playing Lycan and the Wyvern, you know, if they're grouped up. But Wyvern has like so many counters in this game. Static Storm. You don't necessarily need to use like Lycan and the units to go on Wyvern. You can just send the units, and then like Wyvern's like, what do I do? So yeah, they go with the one of the options that I mentioned, like it's either like Troll or Kunkka. A Troll mischance against the Lycan, lanes well. It's still not a stun. Like they don't have that real lockdown for the Storm Spirit. Wyvern ulti is good into like, let's say, a follow-up. There's root mechanic from Oracle, but once he like gets a BKB, he feels pretty damn good at the Storm Spirit.
He does indeed. And let's throw up that draft analysis and have a look at how these two drafts line up against one another, statistically speaking. And, well, I mean, it is kind of tilted in IG's favor. Obviously, this is kind of just looking at the bare facts. Stuns and roche damage are what we're lacking from LBZS right now, which is surprising because they've got that Lycan, but I guess you look at the other heroes and there's not a whole lot there. Yeah. At least for Roshan damage. For stuns, they do need a little bit more coming from their last pick, that's for sure.
From the last pick, when you're thinking about that, Invictus Gaming need a little bit more, I would say, than LBZS. They need that catch that goes through BKB as well. Maybe is Beastmaster ban out so far? Maybe that's an option for them. That's something that they could go for, but they truly need some BKB piercing catch, or just catch alone versus that Storm, because Wyvern, like Lacoste said, with that curse, it's just not enough. And this duo of supports, we've seen it before, but it's very passive.
And they ban out Weaver, I believe, as the last hero.
Yeah,
we've seen that hero just skyrocket, big stonks. You know, a lot of value from that hero, and suddenly super popular across all other regions, especially in this kind of a matchup where they don't have enough lockdown. They go with the Void Spirit, which probably means Alchemist is the safe lane. They could still flex all their three cores. We've seen some trolls on the off lane, we've seen trolls on the mid lane, but I just feel they're going to go with the standard stuff. Alch off lane, mid Void Spirit, and troll on the safe lane. Yeah.
And if you do decide to give that axe to the Void Spirit, that AoE silence is going to be very, very nice versus the Storm.
That's that Aghanim. The problem with Void Spirit and that Aghanims is it's very difficult to rush it. And once you get it, there's at least one save on the enemy team. There's a Yules or a BKB. When you have an Alchemist, it's a little bit different, and because of that, you can itemize in a little bit of an easier way. Your build-up feels more natural.
LBZS picks something for the off lane that doesn't like put too much pressure on, let's say, solo Alchemist. What the IG could do: safe lane Alch, mid Void Spirit, and aggressive tri lane with the Wyvern, Troll, and Oracle. It's super strong. Like, you have three range heroes. I don't think any of the heroes, especially like Disruptor. Disruptor historically has been a hero that doesn't do well in a tri lane. Same goes for the
especially
Earth
versus
Spirit.
Oracle. You can just
especially
purge
against
them off,
like these three heroes. So something that IG could possibly do here.
Interesting, interesting.
I'm not sure if you really want to spread that experience that hard on the side of IG when someone, if a Lycan is safe lane, he can just rotate into the jungle, then you leave your Disruptor to soak in the aggression and the experience.
In 6 stats coming out from these three ranged heroes.
It depends who's playing it. If it's you, then 6 to 12, 10 minutes in.
That's the benchmark.
Yeah.
Final pick from LBZS, then. What are they going to go for? What are they going to do? Where do they want to take this, is the question.
I think it's a safe lane Lycan. They just need an off laner.
A Morphling.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been more and more popular, this position 3 Lycan, and it's Irving playing it. I've seen it in this Moon tournament a couple of days ago, played by different teams, and it looks scary. You bite your core, that's usually some Ursa, some Troll. This time around it's a Morphling.
I like their draft until they picked Morphling.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why they've picked the Morphling, to be perfectly honest. Like, I feel like they've got the catch for him. They've got the ability to lock him down. They're going to have the Ags on the Void Spirit. I mean, these things are scary to play into. So they are going Fly on the Troll and JT on the Alchemist. It will be the offlane Alch, so we're going to see the Aghanims coming out on the Void early. LBZS, they were so close to maybe swinging one of us, but unfortunately it doesn't quite work out for them in the end, guys.
Yeah, I wanted to go with LBZS until
Me
they
too.
picked Morphling, so I'll go with the IG Void Spirit. They also don't have, like, they have good catch, like Storm Disruptor, but Void Spirit could easily just pop off, and I think the Void Spirit also covers some of their weaknesses if Aghanim Scepter is done early on by the Alchemist. He gives it the Void Spirit, no doubt about it. 2 charges on AoE, silence, a lot of control, so I'll go with IG.
Just seeing how these two teams have played out throughout the league, I would go for IG almost no matter what they drafted, to be completely honest with all the viewers. But I can see some reasoning behind the Morphling. High armor versus the Alchemist in the lane. Overall versus the Alchemist is good, but it's a position 3 Alch, so he doesn't really care.
All right, you're going IG as well.
IG.
For me, LBZS, they're 0-10 in the tournament right now, and I think that's about to become 0-11, as I'm also going to go for IG as well. But let's bring in our casters and find out what they have to say about this one. Black and B-Cube, is there any of you daring, brave enough, courageous enough, rebellious enough to go for LBZS?
Are you?
You can throw all those adjectives at me all you want. I just don't have enough faith in LBZS. I think if this draft was with another team, I'd have a lot more faith in it. It's just LBZS hasn't showed us anything in the DPC. The coffee grinds are saying IG, and you know, that's what they're telling me.
Yeah. It's hard to bet against IG, honestly. Like, even against any other team, probably IG favorite, but especially against LBZS. I like their draft. It can work. Very greedy, but they can get away with it. But yeah, IG is probably just going to win it.
IG is probably just going to be... Alright, that's going to be 5 for IG. We do have a pause. What circumstances need to go down for LBZS to take this one?
Yeah, the cost. What do they need to do?
Why are you throwing me under the bus?
Okay, I'll give you my opinion and you can tell me what you think. I think if Morph... it's fine. You can
game
have
is
your own
live.
opinion.
So, you know what, Black? I'm going to let you get to that answer in the
already.
game. That's right. We're going to throw it across. B-Cube and Black, take it away for game number 1 of LBZS versus IG.
Bye. Thank
See you guys later. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, panel, throwing it over to us. We got this right now.
Of course, yeah.
It's going to be a fun series. I think it's hard to get behind LBZS, right?
It is.
And you were saying
that the draft has a chance. So Morph always does pretty well against Alchemist lanes. Lycan is going to struggle a lot, but the Storm can really break this game wide open. Like, if he gets a fast Orchid, he can kill the supports very easily. There's a lot of potential for outplaying. It's just, as we said, like LBZS, they're 0-10. IG is currently undefeated still. It's hard to bet against them.
I would say it's hard. Yeah, it's hard to bet against IG. It's hard to, even if this was like Vici LGD, I'd still probably go IG with this.
30 seconds.
You're probably very right. We might Ollie. Ollie's here, planting a ward. Is he going to get dewarded? Oh, they saw it. It's going to get dewarded right away. Earth Spirit using his role, of course, to plant in a deep, fast ward. That's going to be a free deward. Unless he gets caught out. Right, it's going to be fine.
No, it's fine.
Yeah. Well, it should result in a pretty quick deward, which is always very good for your pos 4. Half a level. Right off the bat.
Yeah, which will be nice to get that D-ward. The question is, do they understand the direction that KU came from, maybe thinking and knowing that he placed that ward deep, right? You saw him come from the top part of the screen, come in that direction. You can assume that maybe the ward, if he had one, was placed there.
Sure, it's possible. It's just always like these mind games. You didn't like see him place it, plant it, you know, so there's a chance it's there, but it might not be. You don't really want to waste a sentry ward this early into the game.
Yeah. The early ones are always pretty important.
Yeah, so this lane is pretty easy for Storm Spirit, pretty much all the time until level 6. Then you can just dodge his step damage with your own Ball Lightning, and until then you just have the range advantage, you have the damage advantage. It's just overall a pretty Storm favorite matchup. Probably a 65-35, something like that. But of course, once he gets that Aghanims, which is going to come out eventually from the Alchemist, double silence to work with, it's going to be a tough Storm game after that.
Speaking of the offlane Alchemist, is KU getting chased a little bit here?
There's no regen, has to be careful. One more.
He's fine.
Yeah, he's fine. One more right click plus a Q. Okay. Salving up. Oh, no.
Salve getting stopped.
Yep, and now he's back to 100 again.
That's a waste of gold right there.
Oh, and the courier.
Oh, that's gone. Man, Ollie, all right. Stopping a salve, getting a courier, doing everything that he needs to be doing as a 5 position in that top lane. Going back to the Alchemist, we've seen a lot of different builds throughout the regions, a lot of different styles, how they want to play it. Some work, some don't. Do you want to see an Alchemist go for a farming item first and then build the Ags? Because like it seems like if you go naked Ags and you're giving them away, you're never really growing yourself and you become a liability.
Yeah, no, the thing is, why you pick this is, in this game it's going to be the Void Spirit, where if you give him this Aghanim's like minute 12, minute 13, he's just so strong that the enemy team cannot deal with him at all. Like that's the entire idea there. Of course, Alchemist himself is going to be quite weird. Stun here. Go with Acid Spray, should be first blood.
It should be first blood. And
he's so much damage coming out from the Acid Spray now.
He's got Acid Spray and the Unstable Concoction, no Grieval's Greed as an Alchemist.
Alchemist, if you take those 2 spells, he deals a ton of damage, as we've just seen.
Yeah.
A lot of people underestimate it because they always see this carry Alchemist. Acid Spray, Grieval's Greed maxed, which of course limits your damage output a lot, but he does deal a lot of damage now.
And now he's got a Soul Ring, so that combo isn't just, you know, few and far in between.
Yeah.
You can throw it more often and potentially make this Disruptor's lane really difficult to maintain in, especially because you've got a Winter Wyvern down there, Arctic Burn, get the slow. You know, you're slowed in an Acid Spray, getting stunned up in the Acid Spray, right clicks, the minus armor, like it can be a big problem.
Yeah. They're already up 1,000 gold in just 3 minutes.
And that's without Grieval's Greed.
Without Grieval's Greed.
Kinetic Field with a Thunder Strike. MS trying to get something happening,
Careful
but you see
there.
the damage on Zhao Fu. This might result in a trade, but this will be another kill for JT. And it's a trade that I think they're okay in making if you're IG.
Yeah, I'm very interested and curious to see what JT is going to go for here. He is usually a pretty damn greedy core player. I don't think we're going to see anything like Battlefield or whatever, you know, but he might just go for a lot of items before that Aghanims. You know, like Urn, Treads, these kind of things. Usually what we see is just Brown Boots, Urn. He got kicked under the tower, but should be just fine. A Lycan can't really kill a Trove, like, ever.
At least not at this moment, right? Level 3, you're not really doing too
gonna
much.
need a lot of items.
Winter Blast, a little rotation from Kaka. That gives the lane solo to JT. Like you said, he's pretty greedy in his core play, getting solo experience. Now he's got Grieval's Greed, solo farm. Like, this is fine for the Alchemist. This is what you want to have at the moment.
Yeah. But Morph, as the levels go higher, even now already, you can't pressure Morph as Alchemist ever. If you Acid Spray the wave, Morphing has like 100 damage to deny every creep. There's really not much you can get from the lane.
Yeah. Are you okay with, like, just letting more farm at the moment? Because, like, you yourself, you're getting some CS with the Acid Spray now level 2. You're just trying to get some Grieval's Greed going and a little bit of gold going your way.
So Morph is a hero that can definitely take over this game if
Yeah.
he free farms completely. Stunned here, but as I said,
Still has the wave form.
doesn't really care much. At this point, he can 1v2 them, really.
Interesting little use of the Acid Spray. That's going to be, at least for now, out of the lane, but they do put it in a spot where they'll be sitting in it. Not awful.
Kaka has to be careful here.
Yeah, he might just be dead with the Kinetic Field and the Thunder Strike damage coming in from MS, but the
Waveform
quick
ready.
stun from JT does have a waveform, may not want to commit going forward.
Not in range, unfortunately. But yeah, if Morph free farms completely, gets a fast Manta, he has some counter tools against that Void Spirit Aghanims that's going to come out eventually.
Right.
And you get an E-Blade. You know, you can blow heroes up. You have Storm Spirit that can take care of the Oracle and Winter Wyvern for you. So as I said, they can definitely win. It's just very tough.
Ooh, roll coming through, but it's well short of where Fly was. However, they've got the Vortex from X coming in. 3 heroes around. Fly should be an easy kill and will be. Storm rotating, level 6, but
It wasn't even 6 when he rotated.
the haste rune that brought him into this lane pre-6.
Yeah. It's a rare rotation that we see, but you know, you get a rune like Haste, makes it very possible. Good rotation there, killing the troll.
Yeah, if you can find him in a spot like that. It almost went wrong with the missed roll. I think the Vortex, yeah, once you've got the extra bit of lockdown. And Fly was sitting pretty low forward in lane.
Yeah, no, this is in a pub where you like ping out the mid, you know, not level 6 ganging me. Trying to find all sorts of excuses.
Ooh, a little Aether Remnant action, and it should be a quick kill. Emo.
He got blown up.
He's got 2 supports. I don't even know if he needed them there. But a quick kill nonetheless. JT still farming by himself. Fly's going to have the lane to himself for a little while with these supports going over mid. things are okay for LBZS at the moment, but this is something we've talked about with this team. Their laning is normally pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, Storm, as well as Morph, are on the top of the network right now, which are the two heroes that will really take over the game eventually.
Right.
Yeah, this Lycan is struggling a lot. And we have seen a lot of offlane Lycans just become a complete liability after that bad laning phase.
Ooh,
Be careful here.
Astral Step X just getting blown up, trying to play aggressive. There's the double damage available on Emo. That was with the Boulder Smash and then a Vortex. That
double
is
damage plus double step is incredibly potent. It's like
Yeah.
500 damage right off the bat. It's more damage than a Lion Finger, really. Because the DD, of course, every time you step, you take 150 damage plus the auto attack hit.
God.
DD is probably the best rune you can find on Void Spirit minute 6.
So JT gonna go casual Gloves of Haste right now. He's got the
Threats
Acid
Gloves
Spray.
of Haste.
Who needs to hit this level 6.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I always said he's a greedy player. Oh,
Ooh,
must
Emo
be
again.
careful.
Astral Step Ball Lightning, but here comes Ollie trying to get the save on Emo, which he will with the Aether Remnant under the tower. They've got the root with the Fortune's End. Ball Lightning, but he's out of mana. So X getting run down. The Arctic Burn, the right clicks from Ollie. That is back-to-back deaths on the Storm, which shut down his game for a little while. Good stacks being built here for JT too. This is very important to help your Alchemist. When these are lacking, you can tell.
Yeah. I mean, Void Spirit had a huge stick, and Storm must have just not checked it, because he committed very deep. He
Yeah.
just popped stick, half health, suddenly no threat anymore at all. And Storm just gets blown up again.
Well,
His
trusty
game
shovel.
was pretty damn good,
And
but now it's not anymore.
Shut down.
Yeah.
Gets those golems, hoping to dig up a bounty rune, but he won't get it. He will get a little Grievel's Greed from that Cobalt, though.
Ult in 5.
Oh. He's really playing with fire on the edge there.
Yeah. But I like it, man. We call him super greedy right off the bat, and he just takes all the stacks as an offlaner. I love it. Why not? Just do it.
Well, yeah.
You're an alchemist, go for it.
But you think about it's not technically
It's not his
greed,
net
is
worth,
it? It's not his net worth that he's building. He's going to be building his Void Spirit's net worth. So really, Emo's farming in 2 spots right now, even though it's JT who's farming these stacks. And now
Dies
X
again.
is dead again.
I did not expect him to die there once more.
Man, Emo is just dominating the matchup, and that's something that you see a lot with LBZS. I've talked about it multiple times. Just the fact that every mid matchup seems very strong in the Chinese region. You're always looking at people who are known as top 10 in the mid lane globally.
Yeah, I mean, they take a lot of pride in the, MMR the Chinese players do. But internationally, we can see a lot of them fall short. They're very good individually. But once you have to, step onto the big stage, it's a whole different game. Like, individual skill alone does not cut it. That's where experience comes in, team play, team chemistry, and it's very, very different from MMR, of course.
Yeah, the team play is one of the things that I was expecting to see from IG coming in. I know a lot of people had their doubts with IG considering their recent results before DPC. They had a little bit of a, not roster shuffle, because obviously it's the same team, but they had stand-ins coming for events. They were losing to, teams from Southeast Asia like Execration. Winter's Curse used here bottom, and they might be able to catch MS out.
He's fine.
But he's got that Ghost Scepter. He'll survive and shifts into the strength. So A-okay there. But yeah, going back to IG, as a team before, before everything went on break, you had IG who were going to a major, who were dominating the region, looking really good, and they have this chemistry, they have this team play that they've been playing together for a long time. So I think a lot of people may have doubted IG's capabilities. I myself didn't see them in first, but I saw them being a contender, and they've certainly proven themselves throughout the season, and you could tell, the team play is there.
I mean, they really blossomed in this DPC.
Yeah.
Before this DPC, as you said, they were very average.
Yeah, inconsistent.
They did not look great at all, but what can you say? Now they're undefeated in the DPC, where it really matters.
Yep.
If they secure this, I believe they're 6-0, 100% locked in for the major. I don't know which position, of course. We'll have to wait until the end for that, but doing very well for themselves. Alchemist, very close to that Aghanim Scepter. Once that's online, Void Spirit will also have his Yule Scepter, and it's just go time.
It's just a massive power spike. All
It's
at one
double
time.
power spike he gets, yeah.
You're getting a 30-minute power spike Or not 30, but
That's
like
a
20-something
20-something, yeah.
minute power spike at minute 12. That's disgusting. And it's
Forget
all
about
these
Jules too.
stacks.
I mean, he's already owning. Like, look at his net worth. He's already 1,500 ahead of the Storm. Then he gets an infusion of 4.2k. He's gonna be like almost triple his net worth.
Yeah, and the silent MVP for me right now is Kaka. He's made these stacks. He's given the opportunity to bolster this farm, and I think it's been really good for them. Static Storm used bottom. They should be able to catch themselves fly here as he's unable to get that battle trance off, and they've used Static Storm and the Shapeshift to come in and get this kill onto the Troll. Yeah, they're killing the Troll, but at some point, I don't think it's the Troll they need to worry about.
They also can't transition it into an objective. They used a lot of resources for it. Usually, you know, when you play a greedy lineup like this, you show in 3 lanes, you are gonna get punished somewhere. This time the Troll had to bite the dust.
Yeah.
But it's a very natural move. You know, and it didn't cost them too much. Of course, Troll is struggling a little bit. But this Void Spirit, you can already see 10,000 net worth suddenly.
That is really just a jump. And then it's funny because then the Alchemist goes to the bottom 5.
Yeah, I mean, he's the guy now we need to keep our eyes on, because this Void Spirit has to do a lot of work with this. Like, he has given a lot of tools, but now he has to make it work. Because now every time you die, you're going to give away a lot of net worth.
Yep.
But he also picked up his jewels, sitting at 1,700 health because of the stats boost, of course. He's going to be a nightmare to kill. They have exactly 1 silence and possibly a static storm, but he's very elusive, so even getting glimpsed back into a static storm is not easy. And they're smoking towards bottom. They really want to kill this Void Spirit.
If they can kill him off this power spike, it's certainly a big kill for them. Slow him down a little bit, even though that he's got himself this Ags Yule's boost.
And he's not moving away. They
And
might be able to catch him here. They do have static storm.
Roll in, ball lightning, and they're going to try and go for this. Yule's up into the air, trying to stay alive long enough through the static storm, and he pops the stick, but he's stunned up. Can he get away? Astro
He's fighting back.
with the Resident Impulse. He's got the 8th room and the kill onto X. Magnetize is out, but Emo, he may not even die. Magnetize reapplied. This should do it. Emo ends up falling, but it cost them the Storm's life, which is something they didn't expect to lose.
Yeah, I think it's still worth it like this. If he died for free, it would be really bad.
Yeah.
But because he took the Storm first, I think it's still well worth it. A lot of resources committed once more, and he got a solo kill on another hero, while both the Alchemist and Troll are just farming away on the other side. E-Blade picked up now, though. It's a lot of burst damage potential.
Yeah, the Morphling's actually got a lot of farm, and
And
there's a quick kill on JT. If you could slow down him delivering Ags buffs, then what is he worth? He's just another glorified support.
Yeah, I mean, we spoke about this. This Morphling can snowball really hard, and it's actually only 200. Or 2,000 net worth behind the Void Spirit. Okay, 3,000 rather. Who has got an axe delivered? Yeah. This Morphling can definitely take matters into his own hand and then carry this game.
Right.
All he needs is hopefully a Manta. I've seen St. Jasha queued up. I really hope he doesn't go with that. That would be a little bit suicidal.
What's Irving going for? He's got Necro 3, naked Necro 3, so no boots.
Another smoke up. The Storm is really the one struggling the most here.
Yeah, for sure. He is just ahead of JT. Obviously, his net worth is going to drop when he gives away that Ags, though.
For sure. And they're smoking bottom again.
Nobody's here, though, at the moment.
Yeah, they need to secure that triangle area, but they just keep running to the bot lane. Like, they're not really... Even though they kill heroes, important heroes, they don't really get objectives done, you know? JT again.
He does get the bounty rune now. They're going to come in on him with ball lightning as well as the silence coming through into JT. Magnetize placed on 3 of these heroes. Now moving forward. Astral Step. They'll get the kill on the Cat U. Ball lightning in, but the false promise. Ali keeping himself alive. Kaka coming over, and they'll use the Winter's Curse onto this Lycan. They've surrounded him. Static Storm's in a decent spot as well as the kinetic field. It's actually going to silence up 3 of these heroes, and now they get the kill on Ali as well as Firefly. Turning this around, looking for JT, charging up a stun on the run, but won't survive. So MS with a double kill, 3 heroes down on the side of IG. That's a pretty decent fight for LBZS.
Might lose to the swap down the back end though.
Yeah,
And
Zhao
he's
Fu
dead. Yeah, I mean, the Void
probably didn't
Spirit.
need to die there.
Yeah, that was a little bit cocky.
Void Spirit's still 6-1-1.
Yeah, but he's not really getting on top of those important heroes with his axe silences, you know? He's not getting on top of the Storm, not getting on top of the Morphling, who really is the biggest damage dealer here right now.
Even the Disruptor, because he was able to drop a Static Storm that caused the fight to turn.
Yeah. He went for Vanguard on Void Spirit. Interesting. I don't know if I've seen that before.
Yeah, sometimes you see, and maybe I'm excusing it or something like that, but you see these more experimental builds against a team that might think that they're just going to win by default. Like LBZS is still a team that can take games. I know they haven't performed as well as they would like in the DPC, but
they're so strong.
Sometimes you see weird builds or experimental builds or different, non-standard builds when you go up against these teams, right?
Yeah, certainly. Now it's smoking down, but good recognition from the Morph, to ping out right away. But yeah, this Vanguard, I mean, it makes you really tanky against the Lycan especially. But yeah, I will have to see. If he gets a Nether Shawl, tier 2 items, then he's going to be virtually unkillable.
Right.
With that Vanguard as well. A lot of physical as well as magical reduction. Let's see if Gaben blesses him or not. Oh no, that was from Storm. Okay, I was like, whew, first item. But of course, Storm loves it as well.
Yeah.
Like 25% magic resistance is just too strong. And they're going into the Roche pit. And they have no idea on the Dire side. This one's going to fall real fast.
This could be a big one for them if they're able to swipe this away, and it doesn't look like IG have any idea that this is going on.
Yeah, looks pretty much gone. They're just content farming on the IG side. Huh. I mean, you never really want to give away a Roche for free like that, especially when you have a hero like Void Spirit that can, and the Winter Wyvern who really thrive at the Roche pit.
Yeah.
But yeah, a free Roche for Radiant. And he's going for another Aghanims on JT here. He's going to give it to the Troll. I don't think it's great on Troll this game. It doesn't like do super much.
Give it to the Winter Wyvern.
Radiant are scanning.
Or Oracle. But he's definitely going to give it to the Troll. It's just, I don't see it as that impactful this game. I would have much rather liked it to, if he built like a Solar Crest for himself first, and then into a Blink Dagger, and then into a next Aghanims. Because this power spike of this Aghanims on a Troll isn't going to do all that much. Static Storm, you still die. Silence from the Orchid, you can't take that off. Same with the Earth Spirit. But he's also itemizing into a BKB, so I guess he does have ways of getting rid of the silence.
Right.
But yeah, it's just the overall stats boost makes you carry so happy. Just gets 400 health for free.
I would have loved the Winter Wyvern greedy build. Goes like Witchblade Orchid, gets an Ags delivered by JT.
It would have been really nice to see, yeah. Okay, Morph does switch up the build and goes Manta. Happy to see it. Saint Jasha is always a pretty big trap on Morph.
And he built the Yasha. I got a little nervous because he still had the SNY queued up for a long time. I was like, he might do it. I know you said you didn't like it, and I just was getting nervous.
Yeah. And it's mostly bad because you have no way of dispelling Vessel as well as silences. And you don't want to build into a BKB. So yeah, like in the lot, they're trying to defend bot tower.
Yeah, but now E-Boy comes in, they put some damage on a Fly and immediately onto the Disruptor. That's who I said they needed to go after, because the Static Storm had been a big thorn in their side. They're gonna move forward for this. Winter's Curse comes through onto the Storm. He's going to be taken out by the Earth Spirit as well as the Morphing. They'll go through and kill off Kaka, so they got the kill onto the Winter Wyvern. They've got the stun charged up, thrown over at Irving, who's running away with the Shapeshift, gets stunned. Emo now moving back towards the fight. Cat-U, MS, as well as Xiaofu. Xiaofu bought back to get back into this one. They get the kill onto JT. And will they go for more? They have found Ali in a bad spot in no man's land, who will use that false promise.
He's done.
But he's still dead afterwards regardless.
Yeah, and another very good fight for LBZS here. Of course, Storm getting caught out in a pretty rough curse, but other than that, the team fight is all LBZS. And this Morphling is starting to really become very, very strong.
Yeah.
He has Manta completed now. It's going to be a tough game. It's not a free game at all for IG here.
And really, IG, they're working with, I would say, 3 glorified supports.
Yeah, as I said, I'm not the biggest fan of the Troll Aghanims this game. It didn't do anything in the last fight either. Imagine if he had a Solar Crest and potentially a Blink Dagger, he would have done so much more than Alchemist.
And that's what he had queued up originally, but now he's going for the Shard, so he wants to get the unlock on the Berserk Potion.
The Berserk Potion is very good because you can dispel silences on your teammates with the Berserk Potion, give him extra health regen and attack speed. It's one of the best shards for me, personally at least. It really counters Orchid and the single target nuke heroes. Oh, another Smoky by LBZS. Alchemist, potentially in trouble.
Ball Lightning all the way north going for this Oracle to start. They've got the silence as X has picked up that Orchid. Now they find themselves the Emo, but a good Winter's Curse. Look at the kill on Cat U. They look over at MS, doing a lot of damage. They've got themselves the Root. Fly coming in, focusing his attention onto X. Storm out of mana and now dead. They got the kill on a 2. LBZS trying to retreat from this one, but the stun hits from JT onto the Disruptor. Zhao Fu bought back in the previous fight, so he's going to be dead for a long time. Gone for 60 seconds. Aether Remnant hits on MS, who morphs into the Void Spirit. We'll use that Resonant Pulse, dissimulates, trying to get some distance between him and the side of IG, but they still catch him. They've got the Yules as well as another Aether Remnant and stun from JT. They should have the lockdown. The question is, do they have the damage to finish him off before he's able to walk away? Arctic Burn, Kaka still moving in. They've got the silence from the Ags from Emo with the Resonant Pulse. Another stun coming out from JT, and there's the Adaptive Strike. This is only the Aegis. Irving coming in, but where's his damage? Roll forward from Cat U, dropping the Magnetize on top of Kaka. They get the kill into the Winter Wyvern. They look over at MS once again, who pops the Manta and tries to roll away, and he will get out with that waveform. They've taken him out once. JT pretty low, the roll in from Cat U, and now they'll find a kill onto the Alk. They look over at Fly. They want to continue forward. They've got the roll. They have the stun. The Fortune's End comes out with the Ball Lightning's in, as now they've got X back into the fight. The silence from the Orchid onto the Oracle, trying to survive. Emo back in, but he doesn't have a lot of mana to play with. They've got the Aether Remnant as well as the Dissimulate. The roll in again from Cat U. The double silence from the Resonant Pulse coming in from the Void Spirit as a roll hits onto the Void Spirit once again. But there's the E-Blade with the Adaptive Strike. The waveform forward, not enough damage. They'll lose Cat U. Will this fight finally end? It doesn't look like it. They might want to chase for more. Irving and MS stay nearby with Zhao Fu by their side if they could potentially get a glimpse, but finally both teams disengage.
That was like a very long, probably 2-minute fight. Started in in the Dire jungle, went all the way to the Radiant jungle and back to the Dire jungle again. Overall, a much better trade, I would say, for IG. They fought into an Aegis, won that fight pretty handily. Of course, the respawns come in from LBZS, so they get a lot of return kills, but not on the important heroes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and the Storm is just continuing to struggle. He's killing the Oracle a lot, sure, but he's not getting a lot of core kills, which is really what you're looking for with this early Orchid.
But is that okay? Like, I know he's struggling, but those kills onto Ollie, keeping the Oracle out of this one, not allowing him to get a False Promise out, not allowing a Winter's Curse to get dropped, are those good enough to maybe help Morphling and Lycan? More Morphling, 'cause we saw Irving use that Shapeshift, and it just felt like he had no damage.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, he's doing his job on Storm Spirit, but I feel Emo is not doing his job. He's supposed to protect the backline from that Storm because he has the double silence, he has the Yules, the setup, He's kind of just jumping in by himself and letting his supports die.
Right.
We'll have to see if he will try to address it a little bit more. Now they smoke up again. Desolator picked up on Void Spirit. There's a lot of physical damage coming out from him, together with that Acid Spray as well. We'll have to see how they make good use of this. Arcane Rune as well.
And you throw Acid Spray in a fight, that 7- armor, plus the Deso, like...
Another 6. It's 13. It's a lot of potential damage here. Together with the Troll there as well. We're now building into a Basher. Because of course BKB is a big problem. Then later Abyssal to catch the Storm as well.
So outgoing Blink Yules now. No more Ags to distribute.
For now.
As much as we, I want to see the Winter Wyvern one.
Yeah, it can work, especially if we go this Orchid first, Get a lot of right-click damage. Would have been nice to see, but not this time.
Cold Embrace on JT, who continue to just tank up this tower. And then we'll get that kill onto the tier 2, opening up this outpost.
Yeah, Morph still sitting at 0 deaths. It's just... It feels more and more like he's all by himself, Like the Storm is getting close to BKB, sure. It's just every time he jumps the Oracle with all his mana, he's out of the fight. He can't really contribute anymore. And the Morph can't just carry a game alone against Alchemist, Troll, and Void Spirit that farmed. So they'll have to make sure that the Storm somehow gets back into this game because he's the lowest net worth core right now.
I'm wondering what Irving's going to give to this after he gets the Orchid. Like, it just never feels like he's comfortable in the fights right now, even in that Shapeshift.
Yeah, it's a tough Lycan game. Every time you play against Troll, if you ever come close to his axis, all your stuff just misses.
Yeah.
Like, you're rendered useless from one spell, basically.
So does he go, now that he's finished his Orchid, does he go Ags, you think, and just bites the Morphling, or bites
Yeah, I think
somebody?
that's probably the best course of action.
Oh, his Orchid Courier dies.
And it's dead for 250.
Oh. And Fly getting a lucky courier coming over as he's coming towards top.
Yeah, that's a rough one, because there was this pretty strong timing. Right now it's gone. And Roshan will respawn before he even gets his Orchid.
Yeah, and then I guess the question becomes, do IG take it right as it comes up? So, or, you know, do LBZS want to go for it? They snuck one once.
Yeah, but of course this time it's IG in the driver's seat, and they're feeling very comfortable. You know, they have minus 13 armor as well, so Roche will die super fast. I don't think they're going to give up another free Roche. And they shouldn't. Like, they're in no position of having to do so.
Yeah.
Alchemist went Blink, going straight into Hex. I like it quite a bit. Storm as well as Morph hate playing against Hex. At least Morph is going to have a Lincoln Sphere to work with. Storm itemizing into the Bloodstone. Here's BKB now. So sure, again, he will be able to kill the Oracle probably. Maybe the Winter. It's just, what do you do after that?
Yeah.
Like, you're giving your life basically for a support.
Maybe you're enabling the Morphling enough, but you got to feel like you want more, right?
Yeah. It's also not that easy. If Oracle gets silenced, he gets the Berserker Potion on top of him. Suddenly, he's not silenced anymore. Can get all the spells out. Can turn the fight around really easily. Void Spirit, ping top. To that Shrine. Outpost rather.
Ooh, Astral Step moving forward.
Not dueling anyone.
No.
I thought he had the Earth Spirit there for sure. Playing a little bit conservatively here, even though he has a BKB. Roshan, spawn, in 5 seconds. But they're leaving the pit, but they have a Korean there.
Smoke breaks, roll away from Cat U.
Yeah.
They want to disengage.
Troll is probably not the one that wants to lead the charge, because he has no way of stopping them. But Roshan is up, and I think IG is probably just going to looking on now.
No combo there.
IG is a little bit scared, I guess.
The fights haven't exactly been going perfectly.
Disrupt has been caught out.
Yeah, they've got the
and
Aether in as well as the Silence, the Astral Step. Shaofu surviving with a little bit of health. He's able to survive with the BKB Popeye Emo. Now the roll away from Cat U. Both these supports survive.
That's a BKB pop.
Winter's Curse.
And
Irving,
Curse
this
also
is
used.
an early Curse, but it's going to lead to a stun coming in from JT. The ball ending onto the backlines as well as the Orchid used onto the Winter Wyvern. Going away from this one, but they get the kill on Irving. They'll look over for the rest. They got the kill on Ali with the Geomagnetic Grip, silencing up this Winter Wyvern with the Magnetized placed down, but that's Cat U dying for that.
Buyback
now,
though.
Emo moving in with the BKB Popeye X, thinking about maybe moving back into this fight. However, without your Lycan, you may want to just stay and leave.
And they do have to buyback on the Earth Spirit. Overall, a pretty sloppy fight for IG there. The Disruptor should have died right away. And the backline, again, got taken out quite easily by the Storm Spirit. I would love it if they like just protect themselves a little bit more in the backline there, you know? They have 2 defensive supports.
Yeah.
Possibly even 3 if you consider the Alchemist Berserk Potion. But they're not really protecting each other in the backline. Like, one Storm should not be able to kill anyone at this point.
So Roche available. I mean, both these couriers are in there, so they know when somebody's going to be going for it. They might look over to get Fly. The roll in, that lands. They've got the kick back. Just don't have a way to blow him up. And once they see that the Fate's Edict is placed on a Fly, they don't want to make that move because they know there will be a false promise. He's got an Aether Lens. He can do it from a far distance away. There's no need putting everything in on the Fly. That probably won't result in a kill.
Yeah. Another 250 gold, and then Troll will have his Abyssal Blade. Another way to shut down the Storm Spirit. It's just gonna get increasingly harder and harder for the Storm Spirit to play. Like, Storm is really a hero that thrives on item timings, and he has been slowed down immensely.
Yeah, he had like 3 straight deaths in the mid lane. Like, it was just from great to nothing.
From great to rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had an amazing laning phase, but yeah, he made a couple of mistakes. Abyssal Blade picked up, smoke up right away. They just want to get 1 or 2 pickoffs here, and then just go straight into the Roche pit. Earth Spirit right now is a super value kill as well. He bought back, he'll be out of the fight for a very long time. Counter smoke. LBZS looking to take the fight here.
IG not committing.
Yeah. The 2 supports need to die on the IG side. It's Oracle and Winter Wyvern. They do too much if they stay alive. They need to get burst. But Winter Wyvern, he has a Shadow Blade. And there's no dust. Oh, there actually is a dust on Storm Spirit, okay. Good proactive gameplay there.
Orbit Destruction dropped in that camp.
Yeah.
So even more armor reduction.
I don't think IG is aware of how far ahead they are at the moment.
That glimpse not really leading to anything.
Yeah. And this troll is a tough kill. Abyssal, 2 saving supports in the back line.
Yeah.
Again, Alchemist is also a saving hero now. Most people forget about that, but his Berserk Potion is crazy strong. Quickening Charm? Who's they gonna go to? It's not the best Quickening Charm game for the Radiant, really.
Maybe Disruptor? He's got Keen Optic right now. He's trying to build an Axe. That Axe would be...
It would be game-changing.
Yeah.
They did not get the Philosopher's Stone, unfortunately. Of course, always something you're looking for.
And he's far away from it, but if they're...
2 more fights?
Yeah, they just... The problem is they want to fight towards Roche, but they also want to get farming the Disruptor. He can't do both.
Yeah. And of course, they have a lot of BKBs now.
Storm's taking a lot of damage over mid.
Curse
They might be
on
able
the
to catch
Lycan.
Nemo. They've got the kick, and now they've got the glimpse because they had the vision, but he won't get caught as he'll dissimulate.
Yep. Lycan got caught on the top lane. A much easier kill, of course. Void Spirit, very elusive, has a BKB as well. They just don't have the lockdown to kill him. Now, Lycan dead, 40 seconds, that's a free Roche.
I wonder if they try to go for this like a Ball Lightning desperation play.
He has Arcane Runes still available, so there's a potential to steal it. It's just very risky.
He's got the BKB, but you're going into an Ags. Like, it's
Nah,
just
it's gone.
a tough...
It's gone.
Yeah, it's a tough sell on wanting to make that move.
Cheese Ages now. Void Spirit. Itemizing onto the Shiva's Guard. He's going to be nigh unkillable. Same as the Troll, really, with his Abyssal Blade. So much damage reduction coming in. Wyvern also sitting at 2k health. Oracle. I mean, they're just so tanky. Oracle has an Essence Ring. His entire lineup is just increasingly getting stronger.
Okay.
I mean, even Alchemist sitting at over 2,000 health as well, even though he gave away so much of his items. And he will have a Hex very, very shortly after this creep camp, in fact.
Wow. So he's farmed into obviously a little bit more utility with the Berserk Potion, having the Blink, finding the positioning. With this Hex, like...
Regardless, he's still very rich.
He's going to feel fine. Yeah.
He's still ahead of the Storm Spirit, even though he gave away 2 Agam Scepters.
And the Lycan. Like, he's just so far ahead. And now he's got that Hex. Like, that's a massive item here. They're going to TP over bottom. They've got themselves the Winter's Curse onto MS. Charging up the stun, roll to the back lines, magnetize, geomagnetic grip. They've got the silence on a JT with the BKB being popped here by Emo, going in for Cat U. And like you said, he does have that buyback death timer, so now he's gone for 75 seconds.
Yeah. I mean, they're trying to make a lot of plays happen here on LBZS. It's just at this point, they're almost 20k gold behind. They're playing against such mobile cores as Void Spirit. It's just very difficult to make anything happen. We saw it there as well. Winter Wyvern just getting saved by the Oracle, saving each other, you know. It's just a very tough Storm game at this point. You really need like 2 more items to be able to be effective. Another smoke up by IG here.
The game is delaying a little bit where you're starting to look at the Disruptor and go, maybe he gets the Ags, but I don't even know how much. Like, I always think of Disruptor's Ags as a big impact item, because it normally seems that way.
Lycan.
I'm just not sure if it will be here. Stun onto Irving. Fly moving in should be an easy kill. Gets the Berserk Potion, and yeah, Troll is just able to rip through this Lycan. And they're
Storm
fighting
Spirit
over
middle.
mid. He's silenced, pops the BKB, and just able to get out.
1 more Purifying Flames. It was like half a second cooldown. He is gone. Void Spirit, almost Abyssal Blade as well. They have so many BKB piercing stuns now. The Storm Spirit is not going to feel safe at all.
Oh gosh, they go right in onto MS. It's the blink.
It didn't
and then
move
the
up.
stun as well as the hex. They get the kill on the MS, take him out. 88 seconds. He is just destroyed. Zhao Fu follows, and they've got the Winter's Curse down on a Cat U. This could be the beginning of the end as the false promise is used on a Kaka. See if they can keep the Winter Wyvern alive. It doesn't even look like LBZS are going to go out there and fight. It would be a 4v5 that really doesn't favor them at all. And again, they pop the Lincolns. They've got the stun. They'll hit the Aether Remnant, locking up MS for a long time. Cat U goes in and drops the Magnetize down, but is it going to be enough? They get the kill to Cat U, or on a Kaka, who then they lose Cat U and look over at Ollie's. They lose both their supports. They have the stun on Irving as well as the Abyssal Blade used onto X. They'll take out the Storm and follow that with an Irving kill as MS looking like he's going to die. He bought back, and it is GG called, and IG will take game 1.
Yeah, a pretty uneventful last fight, unfortunately. There's just too much net worth on the IG side. Too much tankiness, Too many disables. Too much damage, really, overall.
Yeah.
It's just... Yeah, I mean, it shows why IG is such a stable team, you know? They didn't really make many mistakes. The laning phase was pretty average for them, but they just played it pretty flawlessly from there on out.
Yeah.
LBZS committing a couple of mistakes, especially the Storm, you know, he fell off completely. Like, he died 3 times in 2 minutes. His game was just done. Yeah, and then, of course, you see Alchemist, still Alchemist, you know, even if it's in the off lane. He farmed so much.
He's what got that first kill onto MS. I mean, he pops the Lincolns, has the Hex to follow it up. Like, that's just a big way to finish that game. JT showing how to make the Alchemist work in the offlane.
Yeah. Greedy player on a greedy hero.
Makes
getting away with all the greed.
Yeah.
He was ownage. I mean, I really like JT. I think he has been a stand-up player on the team for a very long time.
Yeah, he's shown a lot with this team. IG, they've been together for a long time, and they're showing it to, you know, the chemistry to work. So breaking it down a little bit more, we've got the panel. Throwing it back over to you guys.
Thank you very much, B-Cup and Black. Yes, they IG will take game number 1. Panel, sweating at all there? Nervous at all as LBZS came out swinging?
It was a little bit hairy at the beginning. It was a little bit, you know, you couldn't predict it. Morphling did extremely well in the laning stage. After the post-laning stage, actually he was, what, 2000 net worth behind the Void Spirit, who was fed Meganims, so extremely well played by him there. I was also worried that he'll go into the SNY, which he didn't. He went into the early Manta, had that Aegis, and at that point it looked like, okay, LBZS, they might take this. However, IG, they just take a couple of fights. They played them much better than LBZS. LBZS with a couple of mistakes. They're saving the troll with a kick in one of these team fights. I think in the one that comes after this. And overall, just here as well, I believe that it could have even went worse for LBZS, because Winter Wyvern has a curse, could have used it on Morphling. He does have Aegis, I believe, so decides not to.
A great play-by-play there, Lizard.
Practicing.
Keep practicing.
Practicing.
One day, you know, you might become versatile. You can also practice as a host in between the series. Good showing from LBZS. I think this is the best Dota we've seen them play, especially against the top-tier team like IG. They started like decent in the laning stage. Morphling was pretty much their shining star. Storm struggling a bit. Like for the laning stage, Alchemist, you know, you don't expect that kind of damage to come from the Alchemist. It's a lot of minus armor. Unstable Concoction is physical damage on top of that. So there's a couple of good trades, and I'm not sure if this has been said before, but I think it's pretty stupid that you could just give Aghanim Scepter to someone and it gives stats, so you get like you get everything from it, and yeah, like your power spike is so damn good. Void Spirit, who was already playing from ahead, has a Yule Scepter and then gets a free Aghanim Scepter 12 minutes in. Like, what are you gonna do about it? How are you gonna kill him? Like,
They tried to.
Too tanky. He built a casual Vanguard. I'm pretty sure, you know, I don't have the stats, but I'm pretty sure we have not seen this item built on a Void Spirit in a competitive scene.
What was up with that? Was that just like
you're playing versus Lycan earlier. That's 100% what it was. Also, he realized he's unkillable. They tried to go on him as 3 on the bottom lane, and they lose Storm. Like, they do take him afterwards. So yeah, he's still killable, but he takes Storm with him. That was like a minute after he got that axe. Then Vanguard versus the Lycan into Abyssal afterwards. After that, Desolator. So
LBZS didn't invade Alchemist stacks. He was having the freest time of his life in that jungle. There was like 10 plus stacks. He farmed all of that. That's why that Aghanim Scepter came in so quick. Also, one thing that people forget about, like when you're playing this offlane Alchemist, you buy Berserker Potion. It's one way to...
So sick.
It's an actually sick ability, like giving the regen, giving the dispel mechanic. You can take care of one of your supports. If like they already had 2 saving supports that could take care of each other, and then you have Alchemist with the Berserker Potion on top of that. Kind of hard to go on a single hero and just kill him.
Yeah, long cooldown, but very, very potent ability indeed, and definitely one we're going to see more of in the future. IG to take game number 1, and our MVP for this match is going to be Hamo in the middle lane, playing on the Void Spirit. You know, he was artificially inflated, but he certainly did a lot with that Aghanim Scepter upgrade, plus the Yule's timing, just running around the map, being a lunatic, and putting the pressure on Team China. Though, for me, you know, I think I'd say Kaka. He was the one making the stacks, the support in the backline, some excellent work from him as well. But
I would say Alchemist, he was the one farming the stack, you know.
all right, Lizard, who are you going for? You got to choose someone else.
Yeah, I'll go with the troll then.
There we go. Thank you, Lizard. Yeah.
Now, one thing that was really well played by Emo is understanding what he needs to be doing with that Aghanim that was given to him. Taking off the aggression, because you give him Ags, he can do two things: either fight with his team, which his team wasn't ready for, or he can draw the attention somewhere. And he was doing that really well, playing on the enemy side of the map down in the dead lane, and whenever they want to kill him, they send 3 heroes, and even then, it's not a sure pick-off. Meanwhile, Alchemist is just farming those stacks that support's made for him. So it's a team effort, let's put it that way, but very well understanding.
One thing that bothers me about this whole Alchemist Aghanim Scepter thing is you give it to someone, you increase his net worth by 4,200, which should be 6,200 in theory, because it does not take up your slot. So
You really don't like it, do you?
I don't like the way game is played once there is an Alchemist as an offlaner in the game.
Jesus, it's a good thing IceFrog is anonymous, otherwise Lacoste might be paying a visit. Alrighty, well, we're going to take a quick run through another Toxin, because we're going to be thrown to a short break, but we will be back afterwards for game number 2 of IG versus LBZS. and welcome back to the Dota Pro Circuit Chinese region, brought to you by Perfect World. My name is Nomad. Join me on this panel to break down game number 1 and jump into game number 2. It's Lizard and Lacoste, gentlemen. I understand you had a very angry phone call with Ice Frog in the break. There, a lot of shouting. He was kicking the set. They had to come in and repair it quickly before we went back live. But it's calmed down a bit now.
Yeah, hopefully something gets fixed before the major, because I don't like where this is going with the Alchemist. It just kind of breaks the game, makes the game feel different. I would even compare it to Techie's type of a game, sometimes even Broodmother, where whatever
Thank God those two heroes aren't in the game.
It just feels much different. You need to have a completely different approach how you're gonna play the game.
I like that. You have Lacoste, he's the one that obviously he's instantly, I need to text him and we need to fix the... I mean, yeah, it's gonna get fixed 100%, but these small little things, these things that break the game are also the things that make you hate it and love it as well, because you like to have these. You don't want to have pubs always the same thing, always the brains, always the strategy. No, break it a little bit, mix it up.
I'm all down for finding something to exploit
while
it's not completely broken, because this one certainly is.
Yeah, that's fair.
So we've got the Boomer who's afraid of change and just wants everything, good old make Dota great again. And then we've got the Millennium Lacoste over there.
There you go. Just go into the jungle, kill him. Those stacks weren't contested at all. There are some plays that you can do, but yeah, it does look very, very strong.
Honestly though, the trade-off of giving your cores Axe, right, is that you've got an offlaner who's not really an offlaner. He doesn't really have.
That's the problem. That's the problem.
Yeah. How do you abuse that?
No. When I said that's the problem, I meant that isn't the problem. Alchemist, he's still an offlaner. You still benefit from him a little bit. You still have acid spray. You still have a stun from him. That's the thing. It's not that
you have someone who's super tanky. Who goes in, does what usually offlaner does. You have a stun, AOE, acid spray. It opens up the Roche. He's doing so many things.
Exactly, he's not useless. That's the problem.
It's not like he buys the Aghanim Scepter and then you're playing 4 versus 5. That was my first initial thought when I saw it, but seeing it multiple times now, it just, it's too strong. It really is.
Well, never mind. We'll put that game behind us and move on towards brighter pastures as we have game number 2 of LBZS versus IG. Are we going to see that kind of spanned out by LBZS? Or maybe they're going to give it a go themselves. Let's find out.
I think a lot of the teams have this mentality where they we can beat it,
Yeah.
We've played in the scrims against it. We can probably beat it. Is it banned out? It's not.
Nope. Ancient Apparition is banned out by IG, so I suspect this will be another Alchemist pick for them. But IG, after that first game, after you saw the way it went, I feel like they'll be comfortable running anything versus LBZS, but might pick that Alchemist as AA is banned out.
They love Morph. This team just loves morphling either on the safe lane or on the mid lane, so it's also a possibility. AA is gone.
There you go. Only Oracle. This is. They just want to make the stolen Alchemist.
Here we go. Here we go. It's our turn. Mum said it's our turn with the Alchemist.
You get when you play against the Alchemist, you get Timbersaw. Timbersaw, one of the better offlaners right now.
And JT loves him.
I was not valuing the hero highly, but he really grew on me. This hero does so many things, especially with the flamethrower. It's when I read the patch, I was like, man, that's a badass meme, and it's not just a meme, it actually does so much damage. So yeah, I'm not sure if they are considering Alchemist as a Timbersaw as a counter to the Alchemist, but yeah, in my opinion, you just ruin his lane, either it's a mid lane, either it's an off lane, so you can do so much with the Timber against Alch.
Good old Timber, always effective offlaner.
They can go with the Morphling as well that we mentioned earlier. They could go for that. They go with the Kaka Shadow Shaman. There's duo of supports. You can squeeze in perhaps a Phoenix here and there as well, but these two heroes have been picked by Invictus Gaming in 90% of their games. With Oracle, they have as much of a win rate. They lost maybe 1 game altogether, so really good opening by them. And LBZS with a Shaker.
Very interesting. Now, my mind immediately goes to, are they trying to set up for the long game here and go Morph Shaker with the Alch to give the Ags to Morph? But
who knows? It's doable, right?
got to
And,
get through 3
it's
bands
also
first.
when you're thinking about the laning stage itself, Alchemist in some lanes he doesn't do too much, but when you have this Earthshaker combination, you will find enough farm on the offlane if you are the position 3. So that's nice. Also, LBZS, I just hope that they also watch the Alchemist offlane games and have practiced them, because we have seen everything. Man. We have seen we have seen offlane Alchemists go for Battle Fury and whatnot. So.
But we have not seen the most greedy build in the history. Midas, Battle Fury, Boots of Travel. This is
Radiance.
something OD Pixel would do into Blink. Into like Strength Blink, that's his type of a build. So
Yep.
yeah, they ban out that Alchemist. One thing I noticed about IG, whenever they pick Shadow Shaman, and they pick it quite a lot, it's always paired up against a certain like saving hero, because you want to be giving Shadow Shaman an ability to use his spells multiple times in a row. So it's either Oracle paired up, not necessarily use like ulti on the Shaman, but there's always like the saving capability coming out from the Fate's Edict, coming out from the just to reduce the magic damage, or he's paired up with the Tide Hunter, where like you have a superior team fight, and once again Shadow Shaman will get multiple spells off in a team fight.
Yeah, it cancels out a lot of those popular picks as well, but so far that Morphling hasn't been banned. I mean, I'd really like to see it personally. It's one of the ideas I've wanted to see for a while. As the Alk, Shaker, Morph, it's 3 heroes committed to 1 strap.
Now for both of these teams, Morphling right now would be pretty solid. On LBZS, you could take it. The problem is he's not even that greedy for LBZS. And for Invictus Gaming, you would have Morphling versus the Shaker and versus the Alk, which is even more important. We've seen in that last game how much Morphling does against Alchemist, and he wasn't pressured, even though Alchemist went 1-1-0 build early on, and they got the kill on the support. He still was able to just stand his ground and farm up like super well. And yeah, for Invictus Gaming, it's a very good option. You can see there on the side of IG, they're banning out some of these heroes that are very good. With the Alchemist, you have the Night Stalker, you have the Gyro banned out. On LBZS, heroes that are either picked by IG often, like a Mars, or the Stimber that we mentioned, which would do wonders versus the Alchemist and the Shaker.
A Morph needs to be contested. Like Alchemist, they banned out Gyro, which is one of the best heroes who benefits from the Alchemist Aghanim Scepter. Like your network just skyrockets once you get that, and once Gyro is out, I don't know. I just feel like Morphling into Gyro could also be like potentially really good.
It would be great. Like if you left the Gyro in, IG could take that Morphling, and it would be like the best Morphling game.
Be pretty sick. And they go for the Disruptor on LBZS for now. IG, how do they respond?
Yeah, we have seen this Disruptor in the first game as well for LBZS, and IG with the Dead Prophet. Good old combo, good old school combination. Oracle, Dead Prophet, a lot of push potential, a hero that doesn't care about the tankiness of Alchemist as well.
It's so easy to break the high ground with what IG has right now. You have Shaman Wards, you have Dead Prophet, you have Roche taking potential with these 2 heroes. You have saving capabilities, instant lockdown, stuns. Just like overall, these 3 heroes just feel super strong.
Yep. One problem that I also have with LBZS is they looked really solid in that first game, in the first, let's say, 10-15 minutes. Mostly because their draft wasn't greedy. They could make rotations constantly. Now when you look at their draft, you have this Alchemist, he's going to want to go back into the jungle, just farm his stacks. And then you also have this Earthshaker that needs a little bit of space for his Blink Dagger too. I really like when they play Catyu on heroes that don't need anything. Your Earth Spirit, your Tusk. When he's able to just get levels and move. This, right now, it's looking much more difficult to execute, but I love the Shadow Fiend.
You love it.
I love it. Versus the Dead Prophet, it's one of the better heroes. In the laning stage, later on as well, can be the one that creates space, can be that catalyst, that playmaker.
Looks like a good Shadow Fiend game against the Dead Prophet, especially in Chinese region, considered as a great counter in the lane. Thing is, they don't have the best position for on side of OG, who can rotate and just threaten the kills on Shadow Fiend, because Shadow Shaman is a super slow, sluggish hero. It's not a Tusk that sets up things with the Shard. It's not an Earth Spirit rolling in, so it's going to be a better game for Shadow Fiend this time around. Okay, so it's an off-lane. Dead Prophet, Queen of Pain mid. They're shifting things around already.
Interesting. So they're willing to switch it up, throw the DP to the off lane, put the Queen of Pain in mid. Is this a better matchup, the Queen of Pain into the SF?
It's a possibility that, you know, it's a Dead Prophet on the off lane. On the safe lane, Dead Prophet could potentially just follow the Alchemist, and she's gonna get the free farm. So IG already staying one step ahead of LBZS.
Okay. And it's like when you're playing this Dead Prophet into SF, and then you have a Shaker rotating in, that can be very problematic. A co-op is not only a better matchup, but you don't care about the Shaker. You can blink back always across that fissure, so that's really nice. And IG right now, all they need is something, let's say, like a Wraith King to just complete their draft, to have this power spike around 20-minute mark that pretty much can't be stopped. So their draft right now is looking way more solid and much better than in that first game, and we saw how the first game went.
That Prophet also doesn't care too much about Earthshaker rotation. If you have like Spirit Siphons ready, they bring 2-3 heroes, you siphon a couple of the heroes, and they're not going to be able to burst you. Not with the first 3 heroes they have, so they need to rotate Shadowfin to be able to pretty much kill the Dead Prophet. Banning out Ursa, that says we're playing this Alchemist on the off lane. Should have a much better time than usual, because Earthshaker blocks the lane and gets him closer to the tower.
No, IG ban out my Morphling. I was so hoping for it. Also, just want to point out my guy here with the matching sleeves and keyboard combo. That is a game of look right there.
That's a Navi fan right there.
Well, the LBZS are yellow as well. They got their yellow sunshine behind them.
What about black? Where does black coming from?
You're a gamer. You got to wear black.
Does make a lot of sense, definitely.
Never heard that one.
Well, every girl, they just wear like
Every getup,
choice.
every getup for what they go for. Okay, Monkey. So Ursa banned out, right? We don't. What do we have else left in store that's good versus the Alchemist? It's the Monkey King in the laning stage. That is. So they go with the Monkey, which leaves LBZS with what, a Troll, perhaps, or that Wraith King for them that we talked about before. However, both of these heroes.
I'm not a big fan of this, like, Troll getting the Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah, agreed.
It just doesn't feel as good as on other heroes, like, let's say, Morphling, let's say, Gyrocopter, sometimes even Luna.
So what will they pick?
Luna could be really
actually,
cool,
yeah, that gets that
I love
Aghanims. That's a very good point.
Like, I feel like Luna into Monkey is something we haven't really seen, and something which maybe we should, because there's so many. With the Shard as well, you can find them in the trees. It's basically a Zeus W. It's very cool. It is very cool.
Very cool. You can also find the Oracle with it. I mean, no, I actually love and see potential in the Luna Eggs.
Thank you.
I just don't think LBZS will be the team that, you know, just experiments now in this situation and picks out that Luna. I would love to see it, however.
Oh yeah, let's just stick with what we know. We lost 5 series in a row in
11
DPC.
games in a row.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No victory as of yet.
Look, I've had a lot of experience losing a lot of series in a row, and usually when
I respect your expertise in losing.
Exactly.
we have you
So
on.
listen to me. When you get to this situation, your morals
Tell
are.
me, how do you lose this one? Like, what do you pick?
Exactly. You have to find, well, not
Fun hero
necessarily
to
new
lose with.
ways, but
New ways to lose. Keep it interesting at least. 15 seconds, LBZS ticking down that clock. Will it be the Alchemist carry? Will it be the Alchemist offlane? If it's offlane, what carry do they want to pair with it? Or maybe they just want to keep it classic.
a troll. Yeah, this is the first thing
they
that
go
we.
with the troll. Okay.
So look, it's not the best Aghanims pickup, even though we've seen at the beginning of the league every troll rushing for that tags. But it is a decent matchup versus a lot of these heroes. Later on, that tags can also come in handy if Alchemist gives it to him. So I think if you're even Disruptor getting that tags early on is nice from.
It's still,
from the
like,
Alchemist.
usually it's the other way around. Troll doesn't have that many bad matchups in the lane, so you just pick a range hero that doesn't care too much about the harassment, and that Prophet is that hero. So, like, IG definitely won this draft heavily.
Now, the only redeeming factor I can see here with this troll axe is that you can take off Jingu, right? You can take off Jingu and you can take off the dagger off yourself.
Problem is when you're
Something,
silenced, you can't
but-
get rid of the silence. Like pre-BKB,
Yeah, exactly.
like they silence you, you get hexed, you can't dispel that.
That's not enough, I don't think. So, yeah, I mean, amazingly, I'm going to be going with IG this game, guys.
Wow, I can't believe it.
I know.
How did you come up to that solution?
Very, very smart.
I
Very,
see.
very smart.
Yeah, I'm going with IG as well. I called the troll pick. I can see the reasoning behind it, but does that make their draft better? It doesn't. I'm still going
Yeah,
with
if
IG.
you could call that pick, that means they're pretty bad, right? So you're
Yeah,
going with the
exactly,
other team.
exactly.
It
makes a lot of sense.
Why got to do
Yeah,
about
I'll
this,
go with
Lacoste?
IG. I don't see my name on the screen yet, but yeah, we'll just keep things
There
simple.
it is, there it is. All right, let's bring in our casters for a very quick prediction from them to Beak Up and Black, our favorite part of the Suncasting duo. What say you?
IG.
That's it?
Nothing. Oh, you said something? We didn't catch it. What are you guys saying?
Oh yeah,
He-
I said IG.
He just said
You
IG.
said IG? Are you saying IG, Beak Up?
Am I saying IG?
Yes.
Yeah, IG.
Yeah, IG.
Yeah.
IG. Okay, IG. Take it away then, boys. No, nothing more
Oh yeah,
to
thank you, thank you.
Beak Up and Black game number 2. Let's get into it.
Thank you
I don't
very
know if
much.
they expected more or what, but yeah. Last game showed a pretty different class, pretty big gap in terms of skill and execution. So yeah, it should be a pretty rough game again for LBZS. Their draft looks decent.
Ooh, Xiaofu. Good fissure, actually. That's
JT.
not bad. JT might be the one who goes down for first blood. I was worried about
raise.
Xiaofu, but the triple raise coming in. I think it's another one of those situations where I like the LBZS draft. I just don't have enough faith in them. Pulling it off.
This is a game where I think Alchemist is gonna fall flat on his face, because he's gonna land against the monkey and he has a support Earthshaker. Like he is gonna go jungle level 3,
Yeah.
and if an Alchemist has to go jungle, he's just done. Like he will be a liability for a long time, because he's technically not really taking the farm away, but you still need to accumulate that Agon Scepter. Oh, Rune Steel.
Yeah, you got
He
it.
did not get it.
Oh, no, he did. Thought he did for a second.
But he should be fine, of course, if he boots first. But yeah, he did not fissure block the lane now, which means the lane is going to be even harder for Alchemist. But of course, the game started out really well for the SF, starting with that first blood. Always super good, especially in a matchup where you need to buy more regen.
Yeah.
With the Quap. So he has potential to take over the game. It's just, it's tough fighting into DP, Oracle, Quap, Monkey King ult, Shadow Shaman disabled, you know, it's a really tough lineup to fight into.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. You're talking about the Alchemist having to back up into the jungle. It's not like the last game where that Alchemist was able to stay in lane till just about level 5. And then also had the benefits of all that time, stacks were being made by the supports.
Yeah, this game, stacks might still be made, but I do think they're going to go to the SF rather than the Alchemist.
Also, are you looking for the same kind of thing here? Are you looking to give an Ags away early?
If anything, then to the SF, because Troll Axe this game again doesn't strike me as good. Can't dispel Jingu, can't dispel any spells of Shadow Shaman. You can dispel the Shadow Strike, but that's pretty much it. And I guess Oracle spells, but it's
Right.
really not worth it. So maybe SF. SF Axe is pretty damn good. It's one of the best Axe in the games, I think. So.
Which could lead to one of those builds that we've been seeing, like Yule's, Arcane Blink, Octarine Core. You get that with an Ags Requiem. Feels pretty strong.
Yeah, there's a potential, always a lot of potential with an SF to just completely take over the game. But yeah, we haven't seen a lot of SF. And when we did, they didn't go for the magic build. And if you don't go for the magic build, then the axe is pretty subpar, you know. And also the axe has an insanely long cooldown, so it's hard to justify, you know, giving him an axe that early into the game if it's going to be on a 2-minute cooldown.
Yeah. Yeah, 2 minutes at level 1, even 100 seconds at level 3 is pretty
Shackle on
interesting.
Disruptor.
Should be able to get the kill on a Xiaofu with the Spirit Siphon. Kaka staying alive, MS moving back. He is taking a little bit of damage too as Emo
and a
just
Korea.
surviving with 30 health. Wow. That raise was almost enough. We could see that SF
It's a tough lane for Quap.
is doing all right so far.
Yeah. It's not an easy lane for Quap anymore. SF got buffed quite a bit, whereas Quap didn't really get touched much at all.
Ooh.
Or Fissure.
Oh.
And he's out of region completely. He
Yeah.
will need somebody to TP middle and give him some sort of region, but no one can really do it right now. Oracle is doing it. Yeah.
But that's the thing. Emo needs that, but so does the SF. He's out of bottle charges. He needs mana.
And SF is dead.
And now he's just dead.
Super good rotation there by Ollie. And bot lane, they kill the Disruptor again. This time, though, the trade. Shadow Shaman isn't very angry about dying, though.
No,
0
not
mana,
at all.
0 health. He wanted the refill. And he's probably gonna maybe refill the bottle for the Quap. Yeah, it's dropped in the base. Shadow Shaman's gonna pick it up, TP middle, and give it to him, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, that works out. He'll TP mid, and this might even turn into a kill if the Shadow Fiend's not too careful.
Slow is not enough, level 1, unfortunately, so won't be able to get in range. But yeah, they're helping this Quap a lot with bottle refills and everything. DP is a pretty strong laner, so you don't need to be around DP all the time. And he now also has his bottle picked up, so DP is going to be just fine.
Yeah, JT feels really strong at this point. You've got Spirit Siphon, only level 1 right now. As those levels go up, because you usually ignore getting the silence for a while, unless you're looking for a value point. You know, it could lead to just sustaining in that lane and having your supports move all over. As Emo getting low, but the Fortune's End comes out onto X, who is taken out via the Purifying Flames coming in from Ollie at level 3, which level 2 in the Purifying Flames feels really strong. Cat U now surrounded by 3 heroes. Body blocks are perfect from Kaka, and he's given up on life.
He did not even try to move
Stopped
anymore.
moving after a while.
Tipping him as well there. And that's 2 kills and a refill for the Quap anyways. So they didn't even manage to get the rune on the Radiant side. Still lost all the heroes.
And that's double damage. If the SF comes back, he might just die again.
Yeah, Alchemist has to be a little careful here. But he should be fine with
Boundless
the boots.
strike.
But we can see he's struggling quite a bit. Oh, is he
Fortune's
fine?
End. No, he's dead.
He's dead.
You said this
Ollie,
lane.
a lot of good early game rotations here.
Yeah, hit that level 3 and was ready to go, because you know it's again comes to the matchup, right? Monkey King does well against the Alchemist. You can move your
SF here in
support
trouble
spot.
again. 2 more right clicks might do it.
They also got the shackle. They're fighting
He's gonna
all
die
over
to the
the
Shadow
place.
Strike.
And he has died again and again and again. They get a kill on the Disruptor. They've got 3 around the map. They're already up 8-2.
Yeah, and now SF is gonna come back. Level 4, Quap level 6. That Shadow Wave takes off half the board's health. Troll in trouble here as well, but he is gonna be fine. Good Quelling Blade cutting through the trees. And Kaka, a little bit of position here.
Yeah, he's a little bit too far forward. He'll use a shackle.
He has to be
Make
careful on
this
Troll.
difficult.
If he goes in there and he takes the wave, he's done. But yeah. As we said, Alchemist jungling. However, he did get to level 5. It's just such a greedy lineup. And SF is struggling, really. Like, he was the hero that had to pop off this game. And he's sitting at 600 net worth. Another bottle refill middle. Really, Ollie carried this game super hard for his Quap mid lane.
Yeah.
If he didn't TP there when he had 100 health and no region at all, Quap would have been done.
Instead, it immediately turns into a kill on the SF after that, and then SF his lane spirals out of control, which is something we saw from X in the last game too when he was playing the Storm. Had a good start, dies 3 times in a row, and then his game's over.
It's actually exactly the same scenario.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can tell, you know, like, only a really good support player would do this kind of TP, because it's not something that's super obvious, you know. Like, this Quap's struggling there, yeah, he's going to get his region eventually, but he can't just wait 2 minutes to get it, you know. Like, you need it right now, and yeah, he just realized that. Super good. Obviously, he's a pro player for a reason.
Yep. And they're up 2K already, and this is again up against an Alchemist lineup. Alka already only at 2,700 net worth, and you've got all 3 cores on the side of IG ahead. So
And
things
Troll
going real
rotated
well.
out of bot lane. So now they had to give up on 1 lane already, and SF dead again.
Yeah, that's the 4th kill there. Emo using that Sonic Wave to get the kill.
Yeah, Sonic Wave at this point is more than half health of the SF, and yeah. Quap SF is pretty SF favored, but if Quap snowballs on an SF, then you have no chance. I really just see it. He just jumps on him, he's dead repeatedly.
Gosh, MS. He's
Again.
dead.
Yeah. Can't come to any lanes anymore, really.
Nobody could go to any lane.
Yeah. They'll have to set up some bait plays where IG is too over-aggressive, and they manage to turn the fight around. But They have an Alchemist. He's not really here that can do that.
Yeah, and he doesn't have that stun. He hasn't taken the unstable concoction. Like, it's not the same as the last game where JT went acid spray, unstable concoction, and then Greevil's Greed.
Diving Disruptor here. And at the same time, Earthshaker also in trouble. Earthshaker dead. Disruptor.
Yeah, he's going to drop. They're also looking for
Dead.
X again. Disruptor. He's getting low, and
SF.
that's over bottom with the Exorcism,
Dead.
with the Wukong's command, as well as the kill over bottom, and that's 3 kills around the map. And a tier 1 that's going to drop too.
Yep, that's Exorcism bottom.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Whew! Yeah, they're really running away with this game. Like, the draft looks very aggressive. We said LBZS draft is very passive. They need the SF to pop off. SF is completely out of this game. Same net worth as the Shadow Shaman soon.
Radiant's bottom
The map
tower
is-
has fallen.
Small. It's small for a greedy lineup.
It is. Ollie, though, out of position. Or is he?
He's baiting them in, and now Mischief used, stun charged up. Irving trying to get something done, but he's been shackled. He'll stun himself. And they're trying to make something
Triple stun
happen,
monkey.
but Boundless Strike comes in, hits on the 3. Kaka still surviving. Irving trying to chase. Will finally get the finish, but you've lost your Earthshaker, you've lost your Shadow Fiend, and, well, the Alchemist is dying again. Double kill for Emo, and, well, Jiaofu just survives. Now they're going to go for Ollie again, but Ollie, if he could just get some mana, he does get some mana. He does have False Promise, but it doesn't look like that.
Fly. If he gets Root, he might be in trouble here. Root comes out.
He doesn't have Boundless Strike. The
And he's
Fisher's
dead.
in. Yeah, he's dead.
Good pick off here by MS. So we can see, you know, IG a little bit overconfident. Like, they're overstaying their welcome quite a bit. But of course, they have, you know, they're pretty far ahead, so can't really blame them for it. Probably just having a good time at this point.
Yeah. Kaka stealing that neutral creep away from Irving, who's trying to do everything in his power to get some farm.
SF still level 6, Quap level 10. That's brutal.
Yeah, and he's been found again. Emo taking some damage
Sonic
here,
Wave.
though. Sonic
On
Wave
3.
hits on the 3. Emo still surviving. Goes after Ketu, who's now running. Courier.
Dyer's top
Are
tower.
they gonna
Oracle
let it
helping
get to
out
the
a bro.
Disruptor? No.
Yep. Oracle hitting Shaker by full health. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate you helping me get away.
Yeah. And a regen
Regen.
will picked up.
Of course.
Why not? Gaben smiling upon him.
I love how both our reactions were, of course. He was so low a second ago, and of course the regen rune comes out.
I mean, SF, like, he's level 6. He's lower net worth than the Shadow Shaman. He's done.
Radiant's
This game's over.
structures are fortified.
The glimpse is going to come. All right, sorry, the glimpse is going to come through as the Exorcism is out from JT. All right, this is the second tower they're going to take with Exorcism.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I mean, there's really just no way they can fight them. They have an Alchemist
Has fallen.
who is closing in on an Aghanim Scepter, but SF at this point is so underleveled, it doesn't even make a difference if he has Ags or not.
Well, he can't use Requiem if he doesn't have a Tict, does he?
Dyer's top tower is under attack.
Man, this game is brutal for our little SF here.
Do you upgrade something if it doesn't exist? Jiaofu getting found. And there's the Fortunes and Glimpse isn't going to help you.
Oh, just by the way, he did buy the tome on SF. His supporters didn't even use it. This is what you get reported for on pub games for griefing.
Radiant structures
We'll
are
see it in the
fortified.
Overwatch later.
This could be a really big problem because Disruptor 6 and Echo Slam are actually what's needed to come back into this game, get some good team fights, you know. But now they both don't have a tome. The SF just took it.
Dyer's top
He's
tower
8
is
and the
under
Quap
attack.
is about to be 11.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I really hope the team spoke about him. I mean, about it before he took that tome.
No, there's no discussion.
He just took it, right?
Irving getting spotted here, pops the Chemical Rage.
Yeah. He is going to be completely fine.
This tier 2 bottom is taken at 12 minutes into the game.
Dyer's top tower
That
is under
means
attack.
your outpost is gone. You're not getting experience, most likely at the 20-minute mark with the way IG have just been invading the jungle.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough ask.
Dyer's top tower is under
Yasha
attack.
picked up on
This
Troll.
is-
At least Troll's game is not horrendous. You know, like Troll is still keeping up with the DP. And the Monkey King is doing quite well for himself. But yeah, SF is just 3k net worth. He's same net worth as Shadow Shaman still. He just can't catch a break.
Yeah, and they're going to smoke, and they might find him again. He's in the jungle. He's in pretty deep. He
He has
doesn't have
no
a lot of
mana.
mana to work with. He just has mana for a TP.
Dyer's top tower
They,
is under
maybe they
attack.
find a Troll here?
They Potentially could. Yeah, they've got the silence, and now that they've spotted him, he'll get run down. Might have to be forced to pop that battle trance. But there's the Hex. Fortune's End never gets a chance to.
Yeah. SF? I mean, usually at this point, I would be looking for what item build he's going for, but Disruptor,
just
dead.
Immediately dead, and X
Fly might be in trouble here.
Might be next. Stun's getting charged up. Fly stun, Mischief Fissure, ooh, and the Requiem used.
Quap on the prowl here?
Maybe... No.
They know
No
about it.
Sonic Wave, come on.
Radiant's top tower
They
is
know.
under
He's still gonna go though. He wants to get a kill on a Cat U who's in no man.
He missed his ult!
He missed it. Echo Slam comes in. That does nothing. Emo on the run. Ollie's got False Promise. There's no real fear for Emo here. Fortune's End roots up MS. Nobody rotating to help out the Oracle. Ollie just wanted to help out his Queen of Pain, and he's getting left here. It's kind of rude.
Yeah, that's what you get for messing up. Or rather, that's what you get for your team messing up.
Yeah, Emo misses the Sonic Wave. He's there to help you with a False Promise if needed, and you leave him to die.
And they go straight into Roche Pit. Probably going to drop the Snakes as well. Snakes, Exorcism. Pretty easy Roche. Imagine if Spirit Siphon worked on Roche. 5.5% max health per second. That would be pretty balanced.
Be like,
have you seen the new Tinker? Oh, actually, hold that thought. They're running into the Roche Pit here on Radiant.
Fissure,
There's someone
Storm.
nothing.
Oh gosh, it misses, and now Kaka, he gets chased down. All right, they get a kill onto the Shadow Shaman. Emo does not have that ult. They're working with Exorcism running out. Boundless Strike on the edge, hits Cat U. They'll end up trading, go back into Roche.
He just dropped that Static Storm blind.
And double silence. Shadow Fiend in trouble. Emo moving forward. Spirit Siphon onto X. He's running with the Shadow Strike on him. Muled up into the air. And eventually will be caught. Will throw Requiem in death. But that is another kill onto this Shadow Fiend.
3-8 now. He's going to a Shadow Blade? Nah, he's going to change it up, I'm sure. If you can even get an item, honestly. I'm not sure at this point he can. He's still sitting below the Shadow Shaman and Network.
He gave the axe to MS.
Yeah, I mean, really, like, you can't justify giving this SF an axe. Like, he is way too underleveled, way too underfarmed. It wouldn't make any difference.
Give it to the Disruptor at this point.
That would actually be...
Static Storm
it
this
could be
early in the
game-winning.
game, that would be...
Or it could not, because they don't really have any damage. It's really tough. Like, if your core that's supposed to be owning is so far behind, it's not really a game of Dota anymore, you know? It's just a game of catch-up.
Yeah. Better than a game of Mustard.
Sure, that's true. Although I don't know exactly what it is. I'll just take your word for it.
Bad joke on the play on words. Kind of sounded like you said a game of catch-up. Game of Mustard. Damn, we're really letting that one
Okay.
hit the floor hard.
B-Cup, woo! Stand-up comedian here.
Fissure hits on
Oracle.
Ollie. False Promise.
He has a big stick. It's going to be a lot of health.
Yeah, he'll probably heal up quite a bit.
Or-
Firefly coming home in Static Storm. They're really committing for this.
He's still
Oracle,
alive!
and he will stay alive through it all. They get the kill on the Zhao Fu. Take out Cat U. Sonic Wave used. MS dies. 3 heroes gone on the side of LBZS, and they get nothing in return.
They dropped so many ults from him, they just couldn't touch him. That big stick, it's just so much health. It was like 600 health that you get. 20 stick charges. Yeah, I mean, you can't kill a +5 Oracle with 3 heroes. That is the state this game is in right now.
Yeah.
SF? Like, he knows. He does not want to commit for this Shadow Blade. Like, well, what did you build? Oh my god. It's getting worse for him. He just missed the race on the standing neutral creeps. He looks very flustered, to be honest. And I can't really blame him with a game like this. It's very rough to get back into it mentally, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
But how fast is the Shadow Shaman farming? Or like, he's still ahead of the Shadow Fiend, who's been trying his best to catch up back into this game, you know?
Kaka, the master of farm.
He really is.
He's ahead of both the Alk and the Shadow.
I mean, Alk is just... At least he gave away an axe.
Silence. Glimpse, though.
Yep.
That'll help Emo just escape.
Cadyo TPing out, and
Yeah, no chance that gets away. Fortune's End. Stop the TP. Stop the presses.
DP 8-1, Quap 8-0. Monstrous games here. Snakes up in 20.
Should be another tier 2.
Exorcism up already. See if they want to commit it or not. They might not even need to commit it at this point, to be honest.
Alk might want to go and get the outpost bottom. Or MS. I know it's a minute and a half, but you're going to want to secure that, right?
Definitely. Okay, SF is going to BKB. I like that much better. At least it gives you a chance to fight back.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Quap went super glass cannon. He's skilled, level 20 damage, has level 10 talent. If he gets rooted, he is in trouble.
Yeah, Static Storm,
has Aegis
and
though.
now they've got the False Promise coming in from Ali, so he'll survive. Echo Slime committed. Serpent Wars around MS. They've got the double silence coming out onto the Earthshaker as well as the Troll. That will take out the
Yule.
Aegis, but there's the Yules onto MS. They have the Shackle follow-up from Kaka. Wukong's coming through as well as the Sonic Wave. They get the kill on MS. They'll take out 2.
This troll is so tanky. Sitting at 2.3k health. It just doesn't matter. They have so much damage on Radiant at this point. Exorcism popped. Mid tower under siege. Top tower almost done. Down as well. Monkey King pushing
Alk.
that lane in.
He's caught. Emo's here,
Is
and
he
he will get the
fine?
kill.
Too much damage from his Quap at this point.
They never took back the outpost.
30 seconds left though. Emo
Shackle.
caught.
And Emo glimpsed back. The Requiem missed on Emo. Raises in, Emo low, Emo blinking,
He's stuck in the creep camp.
but he's fine.
But they don't know.
Don't tell anybody.
They don't know.
Oh my gosh.
He was actually stuck. The ghost was like, nope, nope, you die here.
Guys, he could have got, I mean, they could have got the outpost back with that.
Yeah, but they still didn't. Maybe they just forgot, honestly.
Yeah, it got taken 8 minutes ago.
Yeah, they probably thought, yeah, we still have. Oh, nope, we don't. I mean, I can't believe he got out of there. Essence Ring, giving him this additional 400 health. Balanced neutral items.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
16k lead for IG. Meteor Hammer next for the Death Prophet.
Nah, it's going to be an Eternal Shroud, I believe. Oh, he already has Eternal Shroud.
Yeah.
Okay, Meteor Hammer. I mean, I hope not. So many better items.
You know,
At this point, might as well, I guess. Fissure, just an illusion though. JT running in. He's very tanky at this point. He has 2 hoods.
there it is.
Yeah. Monkey on the trees. Shaman.
Zhao Fu, MS, backing off.
No, DP ult as well for 20. And they're just showing on all 3 lanes, farming all 3 lanes, and they're not getting punished for it. Although, as I say that, LBZS is trying to make a move to blue punish the Quap, who does not have BKB yet. But he's also very aware of this fact.
Yeah. Gets out of there.
They're not pushing out any lanes, like where could they possibly be?
Oh, GT.
JT is just
I don't
running
even
in.
think JT dies
Nah,
in
he's
this
way too tanky.
situation. He's the one coming after them. They're not coming after him. Static Storm ends up being a big whiff. They've got the Exorcism, the Silence. That comes through with the Shackle. Easy kill there onto MS. Followed up with a +1 on Zhao Fu.
Yeah.
No buyback on either.
Bot lane is exposed. Exorcism is running. Snakes are online.
Yeah.
Level 2 snakes as well. He just turned 12. They do have a glove available though.
Oh, look at this. He's
Yules,
just diving to tier
Alchemist.
3. They've got the Yules on the out. There's the Silence. There's the kill. Irving, he's dead again, and he's going to buy back. This is really just being a very
SF top.
one-sided game, and
Swap. And
oh
he's dead.
god.
Yep.
X-
Didn't even have to use Sonic Wave for it.
Yeah.
Bot Rex exposed. Snakes still there. Sonic Wave available. BKB coming in for the Quap as well. They will have to concede bottom for sure. Man, absolute slaughter. More than 1k gold ahead per minute.
Yeah, 24,000 net worth lead. And there's the glimpse by the Blink.
Yes,
wow.
Blink on Oracle.
Ollie is just playing with their hearts. They're like, oh,
Alchemist
we
again.
got him. And then he was gone. He blinks.
He just kills him with the
Sonic Wave
fountain.
out.
And yeah.
He bought back. 4 heroes dead. They're farming these heroes now, just like creeps. Who gets the last hits? They've got the Wukong.
4 versus 5,
They
let's
have
go.
the control.
Nope. Unfortunately, Shadow Shaman, one of the best heroes to lock down a single core.
And there's the GG.
Yeah. I mean, IG was just posturing there, like, get out of this game, please.
Yeah. They weren't moving away. Sometimes you see them, you know, move back, take the tier 2 mid, and you know, go through the whole process. But they were posturing instead. Yeah, like you said, just GG.
Yeah. Get out, please. Unfortunately, this game.
Nope, not that great.
Yeah. Lanes started off pretty okay, actually, but ever since Oracle TP'd middle for the first time, he just broke open all the lanes, and they never really managed to recover.
Yeah.
It's like a pretty one-sided game, unfortunately. It just shows LBZS to have a lot to learn. IG top dog for a reason.
Yeah, for sure.
Pretty simple.
Yeah, IG proven why they're at the top. They're really looking strong right now. They're at 6-0. To break down that one, to give it a chance, to give it a try to break that one down.
A little breaky, yeah.
We got the panel. Back over to you guys.
We're not giving anything a breaky or maybe a cheeky breakdown I might give you. But yes, IG looking strong in both games here. LBZS, you know, they came out fighting in game number 1, but in game number 2, they just get their potatoes mashed. 9-39 was the ending scoreline. I mean,
as expected, you know, and games like this make our job kind of hard, you know, because there's not much to talk about. It was a one-sided matchup. I think LBZS, let's take it 4 weeks ago. This is something that they would definitely not pick. This is not a team that would come up with like an Alchemist idea, offlane Alchemist, we're going to give Axe to someone. They copied it. They copied it from other regions to see how it's going to go. I don't think they have a great understanding of what needs to be done. Like, you have this troll hero who doesn't really benefit that much. I'm not a big fan, and like, there are much better heroes that you give Agatha to the troll. Even if it's a Shadow Fin, it's still a long cooldown on that ability to get like the most out of it to justify that 4,200 gold given to the Shadow Fin.
Yeah, when he was going for that Shadow Blade, I was like, all right, my guy's going to get nags, you know, he's going to try and go for like the cheeky, you know, strats you see in like 3K pubs where you Shadow Blade on top of someone and blow them up. But yeah, obviously the axe went to the troll and bada bing, bada boom.
It was just let's say you're a drafter for LBZS and you're in a, our job is not hard, his job is really hard because whatever he picks, his team loses with, and now he picks this Alchemist. He sees, okay, everyone else is drafting it. This Alchemist is working for other teams. Hell, we just lost to it. Let's try it ourselves. I'm gonna give this Shadow Fin a chance to perhaps utilize it in the mid game and bring enough space for the troll. But that never happens because really, Kaka and Oli, they played just a phenomenal game of supports. Coming from Invictus Gaming
Shadow
this time.
Fin, definitely one of the best in the world, and the reason why they pick it, they feel so comfortable playing with this hero. Just overall,
it isn't even the heroes. Like, I wouldn't say it's because of the Shadow Shaman, or both of them are amazing on these two heroes. That's why they pick them often. It's just these standard rotations, like going mid. As soon as Quap loses that salve, he goes mid, refills her, gives her some angle. She jumps on the SF, gets a kill. Then afterwards, Shadow Shaman dies instantly. Bottom lane picks up the bottle, brings it mid. And when Quap is snowballing so hard on the SF, like there isn't really a lot you could do.
If it's possible to report someone while you're playing inside a custom lobby, because like this is what Shadow Fin did in this game. He was level 6, Queen of Pain was level 10, and remember, this was level 6 Shadow Fin with a tome. He bought the tome from his support. Like both of these heroes actually need a tome to be viable on level 6. You need Echo Slam, you need a Static Storm. He stole the tome from them. Like, this is an Overwatch case.
It's never an Overwatch case for playing bad, but maybe you have a point with the tome taking there. But I'm sure it was a team decision. You know, they're like, oh, he's probably crying. And they're like, oh, come on, buddy, take the tome.
I can understand that. You know, Shadow Fin is a snowbally hero. He died multiple times in a row. This hero really doesn't play well from behind, and we were sitting in a green room, like, discussing what item he's gonna go for. Like, he doesn't even need, like,
he wanted to be a snowball, you know, big and rolling down the hill. Unfortunately, it's one of those snowballs which, you know, you pick up and it kind of just crumbles in your hand. You try and squeeze it into a ball and it just kind of splats and drops out, and then you're like, oh, well, they just throw rocks at your friends.
We're talking about snow, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Right, well, let's have a look at our MVP of this game, and it's going to be going over to Ollie.
Definitely deserves. Like,
Thank God. I was really worried we were going to get the Queen of Pain, and that would be condoning cyberbullying, which I don't agree with. So
No, just those early on rotations towards mid lane, then he rotates top, gets a kill as well. Oracle is a fun position 5 because he also has a lot of kill potential, right? Like one rotations or two, you carry such big nukes with you as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, this time Oli, perhaps not with the nukes, but with just understanding of the game and where he needs to be at what time. And then you could see their frustration. They dropped every single ulti onto him, Static Storm, and then he still lives afterwards at the end. Of the
At
game.
one point, LBZS was just done with the game. They understand. You guys, we kind of lost. Let's just try to have some fun, even though it's not fun. We've all been there when you're trying to stay PMA, but the result is going to be the same.
We've seen the SEA players, sometimes the teams there, Vice, for example, they'd be having fun. They're laughing when they're losing. And so, sometimes you're just like, you know what, this game's a write-off. And there's a certain freedom to that, There's a certain freedom when you're like, we've lost. There's nothing we can do.
Like, individually, LBZS, they're a group of very talented Dota players. It's just the group of them together, it doesn't seem like it's working. They
No one's
definitely
shining.
need a lot more experience.
Yeah.
Maybe it's best for them to be in Division 2, learn a lot, become stable and bounce back in 2022, because right now they didn't win a single game.
All right. Hard-hitting question, Lacoste. Should they stay together?
Not necessarily. I mean, they as a team, there's always something to work on, and in this particular case, I'm not going to call out any names, but everyone can see that something's not gelling.
Yeah.
Something's not working. So yeah, maybe
Switch
bring in
ups.
someone else with more experience, possibly on the coach, because them once again as individuals have potential.
They do indeed, and we've seen that before plenty of times in the past. But unfortunately in this DPC League, once more LBZS get 2-0'd, and that is now their 12th loss in a row in the DPC. Haven't won a single game yet. Feels very, very bad, man. But let's have a look at those all-important standings and how everything stands right now. And of course, this loss, I believe it means that LBZS are now confirmed for relegation. So commiserations to them. Or no, if they win their last game, actually, they can play a tiebreaker if both eHome and Magma lose both of their games coming up, because eHome and Magma have already played each other. So there's that one at least. Meanwhile, IG 6-0, absolutely unstoppable. Once again, though, they haven't confirmed upper division, have they? Because if they then lose their game and Vici and Asta both win their games, then...
Yeah, actually, Aster is playing versus IG in their last series, right? IG's last series, that is, so they have that chance to take the game and make things a little bit more interesting at the top.
4 slots, so yeah, IG have at least confirmed going to the major at the very least, so congrats. So all good for them. Meanwhile, of course, in the middle, it's all looking very confusing. Anyone's game still. The Chinese region is not decided. We've got 3 more games coming up this week, and then next week, of course, we've got a whole new round of DPC action, so plenty more Dota to be played, 20 more deciding to be done. Guys, closing thoughts on today's series and looking forward to the next series.
This was a short one, Usually
Really
I
was.
learn something when it's 2 BO3s. What did I learn today?
There's nothing to learn.
Don't
today.
try to copy Alchemist strats
right.
if you don't feel, comfortable playing it. Just do your own thing.
All right. Lizard, new question for you. If you could go back in time and send a singular message to LBZS containing only 3 words before the series starts, what would you say to them?
Ban Alchemist.
You got one more word.
Ban Alchemist.
Guys. There, I helped you out.
I didn't hear you saying 3 words, sorry.
That's all right.
yeah.
That's all right. Yeah, ban Alchemist, guys, for sure. Would have solved a lot of their issues, but probably not all of them, as it ran a lot deeper than this series. But indeed, it is IG taking it 2-0. Let's have a look at the games we got coming up tomorrow. Of course, plenty more Dota action to come. This one will be Team Asta versus Team Magma.
Getting similar vibes.
Yeah, very, very similar vibes.
Magma managed to take a game off LBZS, but Aster looking very dominant as well. They dropped 1 series, still looking like a second best team in China.
When we came back after the long Chinese break, we had very similar series as well. These series that warm you up a little bit, and that's how I feel what's happening today and tomorrow. Because we have 4 days of best of ones. Today and tomorrow, it's introduction to these big games, to the big series. You know how an album has, like, let's say one only musical in the middle, like one only instrumental in the middle? That's it. These 2 series, they're just instrumentals, and then we get the big hits afterwards.
I see. Well, we'll be looking forward to those big hits later on. Of course, looking forward to the series tomorrow. It should be a lot of fun, and we will be there to get you through it. But from today, we are all done with the series. We will be saying goodbye. We'll see you tomorrow, though, for more DPC Chinese action. Goodbye.
Used to waking up in company, but I know you know we won't make it. Packing all my things and leave again, yeah. I get lost in all I see. All that neon goes on till dawn, leading to an empty dream again, yeah. Facing nights in the morning, white lies are fading in. Waiting for a sign that takes me back to the beginning. No time for guilt or pleasure. You know I can't do that. I wish that I knew better, better, Used to waking up in company, but I know you know we won't make it. Packing all my things and leave again, yeah. I get lost in all I see. All that neon goes on till dawn, leading to an empty We tried to work this out before, but now I'm stronger. Ignite the fire once more, but I don't want you. Tracing city lights, make it right. I don't wanna press play. Ooh, days washing away. Facing nights in the morning.